If you are having trouble understanding others,
Hey, how you doing?
speak out.
Yeah, here.
Learn the warning signs of stroke.
ECAC Football, Trinity and Colby.
From Severns Field in Waterville, Maine, it's the ECAC Game of the Week on Nesson. Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Tranchmontaine, along with Dave Long, and today we have a great Division III matchup for you. The Mules of Colby hosting the Bantams from Trinity. And Dave, last year, Colby would have been undefeated except for that game against Trinity.
You know, everybody's downplaying the revenge factor in the ball game, Scott. All I know is Colby loses the first game of the season, then runs the table, goes 7-1. It costs him a shot at a share of the ECAC championship. I think players remember that. And then if you add in the fact that Colby hasn't won in 10 years against these guys, there's 18 guys who are lettermen who have played in these games in the past. I think that's going to be on their mind and is a much bigger factor in the psyche than people are giving it credit for.
Opening game of the season for both clubs. Colby returns 12 starters. Trinity, a little bit more inexperienced.
Particularly in the offensive end, just 2 returning starters out of the 9 who come back. Nobody in the skill position. That's even more complicated by the fact that Trinity likes to run the multiflex, throw the ball in the air. It's kind of windy here, so I think they're going to play a little bit closer to the vest. I think they have to rely on their defense. Ryan Hankard, Mark Pizzuto, those guys return over 200 tackles between them. I think they need a strong game from the defense and play it tight to the vest if they're going to get out of here with a win.
Colby very good at home. What does Trinity have to do to win?
I think Trinity's going to have to stop the running game. Brad Smith, who's a game-time decision with a hamstring problem, and Lawan Curry are the 2 big guys. They can control things on the ground. They return. Those guys ran for over 1,300 yards a year ago. So I think Trinity has got to stop the running game at Colby to get out of here with a win.
The Mules and the Bantams from Colby College. We'll be back with the action after this.
The ECAC Game of the Week is brought to you by the Chevy dealers in New England. Start where more people end up. And by the Spalding Top Flight J5V, the offensive weapon.
Summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirt and gritty.
While it's hot enough to fry an egg on the sidewalk, your Chevrolet Geo dealer can get you into a new 95 over easy. Get model year end savings during summer value days. Like $300 cash back on Geo Metro with dual airbags and more. It's one of the most fuel-efficient cars on the road today.
For sizzling summer values during summer value days, visit your neighborhood Chevy Geo dealer today.
Summer in the city.
Coaches and spectators.
On the campus of Colby College in central Maine, it's the Colby College White Mules hosting the Bantams from Trinity, and we're at Severns Field here in Waterville. Scott Tranchmontaine and Dave Long, glad to be with us. Dave, Trinity has not lost a season opener since 1983. On the other hand, Colby, last season 4-0 here at Severns. Very tough team to play at home.
Yes, they are in recent years, and I think, I'm not sure, they took the ball and are going to be playing with the wind, try and get off early. I don't know, my first game of the season, if I would do that, I think I might go against the wind in the first quarter and try and pick it up in the second quarter, considering how pronounced it is. So just a thought right off the bat. But given the fact that they play very tough at home, they wanted the ball, maybe get on the scoreboard first, take control of the lead.
Bantams will receive. Rob Kane and Raymond Jones back to return. Jared Deshaw, the kicker for Colby. Deshaw played his entire high school career as a kicker, has developed into a fine wide receiver for the Mules as well.
And actually, Colby's done exactly what I said they should do.
Here's Raymond Jones. He's got some room. Up to the 36. That's where the Bantams will start, 1st and 10.
Ken Wilson down at the bottom of the pile, number 33. Guy we'll see a lot of on the defensive end.
30-yard return by Ray Jones.
Hey, a look at the Bantam offense. Tiger Reardon, there's a football name that you gotta love. John Dugan, Shabbat, Hawk, and Ceruto. Quarterback Mark Clapp today will get the start. And Ranieri is a good one in the backfield, as is Kaya. First and 10 from the 36. Fumbled snap. Ball is loose. Who's got it?
I'm not sure who's got it. Remember, as we said, looks like Trinity's come away with it. But, you know, the NESCAC start their games a little bit later. This is the opening game for both people. Some teams already are 4-0 in the Division I level. So a little bit different going on here, different thing going on in the NESCAC, or a real difference in the NESCAC and major college football. But since these guys are starting at this point, we may see some mistakes early on. And again, as I mentioned right before the kickoff, that Colby has taken the defensive end, and
Raymond Jones slices through the line, close to a first down.
There's that thought to see if they can get Trinity to make some mistakes early. They'll have the wind on their side.
Watch Jones, big hole in the middle. Well, let's take a look at that Colby defense first. Kevin Pirani, co-captain, Chin, Sklarz, and John Ginn. Jason Jabber, Parker. That should be Drude, I believe. Pocini, and the rest of the White Mule defense. It's third and short. Big defensive play there for the Mules, and they recover on the fumble.
Second fumble. 3 downs, and as we mentioned, Scott, Ken Wilson coming off the defensive end, but we mentioned all new people in the skilled positions. Just great penetration on the defensive side early on. Pirani grabbing Clapp as he goes down on the handoff and really interferes with the handoff. But, you know, those are mistakes that you're likely to see with an entirely new backfield playing for the first time with the Cheetahs in opening season. So that was, again, the thinking on the part of Colby. They took the wind, gave the ball, see if they could get field position. That's exactly what happened.
First and 10, and the pitch goes to their speedy back, Lawan Curry. Curry had 8 touchdowns last year, 550 yards rushing. There's your Colby offense. Fowler centering the action. Scotchy, D'Agostine, Forger, and Handler. P.J. Matson, the quarterback, coming in after 2 years as the backup. Curry, who just carried the ball. Brad Smith is their big fullback, but he's got a troubled hamstring, and he'll see limited duty today. Second down and short. And Curry has the first down and more, near the 30.
Nice job by Curry. Play was designed to go right, and he just picked his spot and saw a hole had opened on the left over the left guard, and he just turned down and made the cut and went in and picked up the first down.
So the Mules moving the ball. They'll have first and 10 from the, I'll say, just inside the 32. Don Gage is in at fullback in place of Brad Smith. Pitch to Curry. Fumble! Ball goes back to Trinity.
Curry lost the ball when he ran into his own man. Really hadn't put it away, and the defender had strung out the play. The linebacker on the left-hand side, I think it was Pizzuto. Check it on the right-hand side of your screen, but the offensive lineman gets stood up, and Curry runs right into him. Actually, it's the play right there. It is Shaw that gets stood up by the linebacker, Rocco, and just knocks the ball out of Curry's hands.
John Golis is a good one. He's one of the 4 preseason All-Americans for Trinity.
I like when you have a big defensive guy, linebacker, or a lineman who punts. You don't see that very much anymore.
Quick handoff inside. Mike Ranieri lunges ahead for about a yard.
As we mentioned, Trinity plays the multi-flex, a fairly complicated offense to play. They like to put the ball in the air. They've had success with it in recent years. Some terrific people playing the quarterback position. So, you know, that puts more pressure on the offense to be able to execute when you've got, you know, more options and teams that like to go to the air, or a philosophy that likes to go to the air.
Second and a long 9. Flat with the quick handoff to Jones, and he's stacked up the line. Colby defense looking strong thus far.
And I'll tell you, they had a lot of people on the right-hand side of that line. They had the wing back inside. It was almost an H-back. They had a tight end on that side, so they just ran power right there. 5 people at the point of attack blocking. And Colby did a nice job to stack that up on the left-hand side of the line.
Colby coach Tom Austin is in his 10th year with an overall record of 34, 37, and 1. Don Miller on the other side, commencing his 29th year at the helm for the Bantams. 3rd down and still 9 yards to go. Clapp looking to the air, and he's going down. Great inside penetration by Jeff Sklars.
He just on Clapp before he even had a chance to do it. Colby was in a man-to-man. I mean, the receivers really didn't have a chance to get into their patterns because the penetration came from the right side. And it was just quickness by the big guy. There you go. He's there before Clapp has a chance to even get back and throw the ball. It's set up to throw the ball.
Golis's punt is a low one, fielded at midfield. Loose ball again. Another fumble. I believe Trinity's got it. Jabber was unable to hold on to the ball, and the Bantams have a great opportunity here just over midfield.
Ryan Hankard makes the play. Don't see he's got the ball. There's an initial hit, but he spins away there. He still has the ball, but as you can see, his arm is away from his body. Ryan Hankard, number 10, comes in and hit it with his helmet on the way and just jarred it loose. Good job of sticking with the coverage, even though it looked like he had shook the first defender. He might have been able to get some running room.
Well, a case of the dropsies here early on.
You know,
we're less than 5 minutes into this one, and we've seen four fumbles.
For over 50 years, the Eastern College Athletic Conference has assured its membership of the highest level of organization and competition in collegiate athletics. The ECAC is the largest athletic conference of the NCAA, representing about 25% of its members. Comprised of 256 colleges and universities, encompassing Divisions 1, 2, and 3, the ECAC is a conference of conferences, including the Ivy League, the Big East, the East Coast Conference, and numerous other conferences in all divisions.
US Air is the official airline of the ECAC. US Air begins with you.
What happens when you mix NFL football with Nashville country music? You get NFL Outlaw Country, football like you've never heard before. Join Travis Tritt for one partying home video featuring the biggest stars of the NFL doing their thing to the hottest sounds in country.
What goes up must come down. Come back around.
Don't miss this special TV offer. There are absolutely no magazines to buy and no clubs to join. Call and order Outlaw Country, where the NFL meets Nashville in one unforgettable home video. Only $19.95.
Use your credit card and call 1-800-468-3100 to order your NFL Outlaw Country video, where the NFL meets Nashville. Only $19.95 plus shipping. This is a special TV offer. Call now, 1-800-468-3100.
Pitch play to Curry on 2nd down and 7, and he gets about a yard, if that. The Mules got a big break. They got the ball back because there was a face mask penalty called against the Bantams on that kick, so the fumble by Jabber didn't hurt them.
Colby came back that time with on the first down in this series. They went to a pass out, a little square out on the left-hand side. It's the first time they went any place but the right-hand side of the field, and then they come back on 2nd down to Curry. But it looks like, at least from the initial outset, they're just going to try and overpower on the right side. We'll have to take a look and see if that continues, but that seems to be in the scripted game plan right from the start.
Curry, DeShaw, and Tom Kalela, the receivers for P.J. Matson on 3rd down and 5. Curry has it, but I don't think he's got a first down. We've also got a flag.
Trinity was in his zone that time, and they just he went into the open area. Curry went into the open area and tried to get to the first down marker. It did not look like he got there. I'm not sure. Usually in that area, everybody's walking back on Colby's side, and they're talking to Hankard, so it's going to go against the White Mules. But DeShaw was open. He was on the right-hand side, and ran a deep post pattern. So we'll have to keep an eye on that a little later in the game, because when they went into that zone, they had two deep people, but they were concentrating on the far sideline, and Wilson just snuck behind the corner and was wide open.
The Bantams accept the penalty. It'll set up a 3rd and 14 from the 50-yard line. Again, Matson has 3 receivers in Curry, Deshaw, and Kalila. Matson all wrapped up that time. That was Brad Mantle for the Bantams, who got in and just gave him the big bear hug.
Just once again, real quick penetration by Mantle. He just beats his man and is there before Matson has a chance to deliver the ball. Pretty good coverage in the secondary on the part of the Bantams during that play. So I don't really think Matson had anywhere to go with it.
Robert Kane back to return this punt for the Bantams. Has it at the 20. Straight up the field. Taken down hard at the 33.
John Parker, one of the guys in on the bottom of that pile. Tight end Brent Nardini was there as well. Pretty nice return, though. Picks up about 10.
Kind of a helter-skelter start to this one. A lot of fumbles, and Trinity will get a chance now to crank up some offense. They've got 1st and 10 from their 33-yard line.
Once again, though, no surprise. You got your, your first 2 series of the season. Generally, you see perhaps not quite as many fumbles, but you see people out of sync, and they're looking to get their rhythm.
Raymond Jones on the handoff. No room for him.
Came out of the wingback position. I like those plays when you've got Irving Fryer used to play in that spot when he played for Nebraska, but the guy is versatile. He can go out in the pass patterns, and it doesn't really, they don't use him every once in a while, so it's almost like, 2 or 3, 4 carries a game. The hope is that you might forget about that guy from that position and see if you can pick up some yards on the surprise.
2nd and a line for the Bantams. Clapp rolling. In a little bit of trouble, gets away, looking downfield, and it's complete for a 1st down. The pass was caught by Rob Norton.
Take a look at it on the replay. Good patience by Clapp. Pretty good coverage by the short man and the deep people, but Clapp just holds on, and as Norton finally breaks free of the coverage, he gets down to the sideline, and by that time Clapp delivered the ball. But the tendency was, as it looked like as the play was developing, that everybody was going to be covered, but Norton broke free at the last minute.
Renerian Jones behind Clapp on 1st and 10. Just inside their 45. Jones stood up and turned back. Tom Beatty on the tackle.
See the defensive setup there with the 4-3 standard 4-3 set, but they've got the linebackers and the cornerbacks. Here's Beatty, the safety, actually strong safety, stepping in right at the line of scrimmage. They're almost daring the Bantams to throw the ball with the defensive backs bringing up. They've almost got a 5 or 6 man front. There's a good look at Tom Beatty, all NESCAC performer.
6 interceptions last year for Tom Beatty.
But again, it'll be interesting to see. Now Beatty has dropped back. He's about 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, but they are moving the cornerbacks and the safeties up toward the line of scrimmage.
Clapp looking down the sideline. His man turned inside. He threw outside.
Keep it up, baby. Good job of coverage on that side. Rob Kane was covered pretty well on that play, and I think Clapp just threw it away.
3rd down.
White Mules have the Detroit Lion look.
You got it, baby. Plug it up. Not only they've got the Detroit Lion colors, but they've got the C, which is reminiscent of the Chicago Bears C.
So maybe it's the Central Division,
the NFC look. Central look. Yeah. And the Bantams not kind of got the Green Bay Packers color a little bit.
Except they're blue on the stripe.
Timeout on the field. Did Trinity take too much time?
Yes, they did.
Now that'll back them up a little bit. It was a 3rd and 9. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 14.
Which means the situation to go to the air. We'll see what kind of, if they continue to roll out, both they roll to either side on the pass plays that have been at least where they've gotten the passes off so far, but we'll see how the wind affects that if they want to go down the field, and they're going to have to on this play.
To the sideline, Raymond Jones wide open. He's inside the 40, and he has a first down. Who had him?
He just snuck out of the backfield. Nobody had him. Everybody was looking like they were going to go to the strong side of the field. Clapp rolled that way, and Jones just lazily goes down the left-hand sideline when nobody's watching him like he was a blocker, and then he's wide open. Look, there's no blue shirts near him at all on the replay, and then he does a good job of advancing the ball, picking up another 8 or so yards after he catches it. Good call. And a good pattern because, as I say, Jones got lost in the blocking scheme to start off with, and they forgot about him.
Jones in motion here. Ranieri gets the handoff. The big fullback is turned back at the line of scrimmage.
Big John Ginn in the bottom of that pile.
Mike Ranieri, the senior fullback out of Braintree, Massachusetts. Colby's done a pretty good job on first down stopping the run. However, they've got to shore things up a little bit on their pass defense. This is not the first time the Bantams have faced a 2nd and long 9. Flat back to the air. Cross the middle. It's complete. Down near the 10-yard line, Rob Norton.
Nice job of finding the hole. I think they were in a man-to-man, but it almost looked, and no one picked Norton up as he broke free to the line from the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of action. There's a good shot of Rob. But not a lot of linebackers on the tight end to try and slow him up. I think maybe they were expecting a run. He comes out of the left-hand part of your screen. Look at the big opening right there in the middle of the field. Somebody almost got a hand on it, but it comes right at you from the middle, and Norton wide open as the defenders in the backfield scamper to, or scurry to try and put him down. But nice play by the Bantams. Good call again.
First down from outside the 10, and you'd probably have to credit Beatty with the sack there.
Nobody got a body on Beatty, and he just, on the rollout, went his way. Beatty just walked right in.
Here's a good look at Tom, wearing number 8 in the secondary.
Not a real great deal of predictability to the offensive scheme in terms of what the Bantams are calling. So I don't think Colby has a sense of anticipation where to go, and if they do, they're being crossed up because at the moment they've gone left, they've gone right, they've thrown out in the flat, they've thrown over the middle. So a good job of mixing it up for Trinity.
2nd and 14 for the Bantams. Clapp on the keeper. Got about 2 yards back.
That time they went to a spread offense. They had wideouts way far away from the line of scrimmage on both sides. And Jones was split out to the left as well. On the slot, looks like a passing formation. And then they go with the option. But nice job, Jabber, in on the stop along with Ginn, who they did not go. They kept their responsibility. Ginn stayed with the ball carrier, and Jabber prevented the pitch from going outside and then came in to clean up on the block, on the tackle.
Another flag on the field. Trinity may have taken too much time again, which could be costly. They were already facing 3rd and 12. Now they'll back up to 3rd and 17. They're almost taking themselves out of field goal range if they keep this up.
And you know, the thing is, they weren't even close. I mean, they were breaking the huddle. They were about 3 steps out of the huddle, not even close to getting set up when the whistle blew and the flag went up. So they're taking an awful long time.
Some of the problems you face in your first game of the season, getting that timing down. This is our 3rd game of the season here on the ECAC Game of the Week, but Division 3 starts a little bit later. Nothing there for Raymond Jones. He ran it back to the middle of the field.
Play calling here. They're trying to cross up Colby, figuring everybody's going to think it's a passing situation, so they go for the quick draw Kind of a deep tailback spot for Jones, who's been set up all over the field, but the interior part of that White Mule line stacked it up and didn't give him anywhere to go.
Jim DeMarco attempting a 34-yard field goal. That will not have the legs. It was dead on, but short.
Yeah, he really looked like a misstep. He was out of sync and caught the ball on his way up. Or actually, I mean, at the end of his extension, rather than going full, getting a full stride straight through the ball. He caught it on the end of his kick.
So the Mules defense hangs tough. Trinity had gotten the ball down to the 11-yard line. And then they started backpedaling. Took themselves out of scoring range.
But as we continue to talk about in these games, even though they didn't get the score, they did pick up the field position advantage, and they had been playing in their end of the field. So I would say, if it's not an A, it's a B+ because field position advantage goes back to the Bantams.
That's your backup fullback, Don Gage, starting today for Brad Smith. That's a loss in the backfield for
They look at the linebacker slot Colby. Too. Rob Norton in the ball game. The starting tight end made the big catch. He's on the far side. There he is making the tackle, going both ways. There is Rob Norton, Braintree, Massachusetts.
Would you say he's from the old school, old style, plays both ways, a throwback?
I think that's the reason why a lot of people don't play football.
That ball nearly intercepted. Matson was trying to hit Curry. Pretty good coverage.
Norton right there. Take a look at it coming out of the end zone. It's a zone. You can see Hanker drop it back, trying to cut off things in the middle. They're immediately going to the right-hand side of the field or the screen, and Norton was right there with anticipating the coverage, and really that ball was forced in there because that was about a step away from going back into the other team's end zone.
3rd and long for the Mules. Little draw play. Gage at about 4 yards. They'll be well shy. Colby will have to punt from deep in its own zone.
That was one of those calls that the discretion is the better part of valor. We're not going to put it up in the air where maybe we'll make a mistake. Got to pick up the 13 yards when they're expecting it. Let's just make sure we hold on to the ball and then punt it out of our area and let our defense do some work.
Derek Bugby punting from just outside his 5.
It's the wind that's going now. The flag is just blowing straight out toward Colby's end zone. Probably going to pick up 10 yards in the kick if he can get it up in the air.
Nice high spiral. Kane back at his 41. Cuts inside, taken down by the shirt. Nice coverage that time by number 45 for Colby.
Number switch. Actually, I think it was Jabber. No breakaway jerseys there. They had the breakaway jersey. Kane was gone. They just had a hand on that and just brought him down.
Okay, 1st and 10 for the Bantams. Still no score in this first quarter. Trinity starting in decent field position at their 44. A little mix up in the backfield there. As Clapp ran into his fullback, Jones still got about a yard or 2.
Continue to have difficulty finding their rhythm.
That's the end of the first quarter here from Seaverns Field. No score on the ECAC Game of the Week.
Fun, easy, inexpensive, and ingenious.
That's what coaches and experts say about Solo Tennis. Improves all tennis skills. Form, timing, speed, confidence, strength, and endurance.
How does it work?
Just hit the ball and Solo Tennis will return it to you every time.
Who can play?
Anyone of any age. Simple enough for a novice, yet challenging enough for an expert.
Where can you play?
Anywhere. No backboard or tennis court is needed. Solo Tennis is a fun, exciting game you can play anytime. Tennis USTA magazine says,
take full natural strokes and the ball comes back to you every time.
Inside Tennis magazine calls it
simple yet innovative.
Solo Tennis, called the best invention in 20 years by World Tennis magazine, is now available for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. For fast delivery, just call the toll-free number on your screen. Solo Tennis comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Order yours today.
On 3rd down and 8, P.J. Matson with the pitch to Curry. Curry tried to get outside, picked up about 6, so the Mules will be in a punting situation.
Almost in 4th down territory, I think. Even though they've got a long way to go, they're still on inside the 40, but I guess they're going to play the field position game. That power sweep to the right-hand side that they go to Curry has been the most effective play so far for the White Mules. They continue to pick up ground with it, but it pretty much has been the only play that's got them any ground on the offensive end.
Derek Bugby will punt from his own 46. Rob Kane back to return. Bugby gets another high kick.
That's going to come back.
Colby downs it at the 1-yard line.
Now you can tell with the way the rotation of the ball, and it's easier to see it from this side, but you could just tell as it was going, and it's not the kind that was going to kick and go forward. It was going to be the kind that dives, bounces back and forth, and give Colby a shot to down the ball inside the 10. So the decision to go for the punt was a very good one.
And there's your captain, Pirani, who recovered that and downed it at the 1. Bantams with 99 yards to go.
Just makes for a more dramatic series when you can take it off the 1 when things are in your position. But remember, the Bantams have fumbled the ball 3 times already. They have had problems. They've bumped into each other in the backfield. So this is very dangerous territory right now for Trinity.
Straight up the gut. That's some gutsy running by Raymond Jones. He looked like he should have been down at about the 4, and instead he lunges up to the 9.
That's an instant dose of medicine. Take a look at it from just above the line of scrimmage. He does a nice job of picking his hole and finding places to go, running to daylight. And actually, it was just a great tackle right at the end on the dive. Otherwise, I think he would have made a lot more room. Kenny Wilson came up from the strong safeties for the free safety spot to take him down. Otherwise, I think he gets to about the 20.
Well, a little bit of breathing room for the Bantams now. They've got 2nd and about 2. Jones again up the gut. Should have the first down. He's up over the 11.
And that is close to the first down, and I think they got the first down. Actually, I think he's about the 12 and a half.
First down to the Bantams.
Once again, I mentioned in the last series, I like the play calling on the Bantams. They really can't get a tendency in exactly what they're going to do. Using the whole field, they're going to the air, they're going out to the flats, and that just makes it a little bit more difficult for the defense to figure out where they are. They just can't anticipate where that point of attack is going to be.
Flap again on the handoff to Jones. Another shoestring tackle. That one, Kevin Pirani.
Pirani playing a new spot this year. He's at the defensive end. Has been a tackle for his first 2 years at the White Mules and with the White Mules. And he's a guy who can play, very versatile, can play a number of positions.
About a 2-yard pickup for Jones. It'll be 2nd and 8. About 8.5 minutes to play in this second quarter, and no score. The closest we came was a field goal attempt.
Hey, one of the reasons they might be having trouble getting the plays off is the guys coming in with the plays from the sidelines are not exactly sprinting.
Flag on that play.
And I don't know if we can get a clock on them at some point, but they're just kind of loping in instead of hustling in there, especially if they've already had 2 delay of game penalties. I'd be going in a lot faster. They come back to Jones here in the replay, once again straight out of the deep I position, and this one just goes to the right-hand side. And look at the drive blocking the offensive line does. No blue shirts around the line of scrimmage. As he got there, he had just pushed everybody back 3 or 4 yards and gave Jones a lot of running room.
Ken Wilson with the big hit on the stop, but the ball is going back to the 10-yard line on the penalty.
Now, if you're trying to anticipate the play calling, I would expect maybe they might do some kind of a rollout maybe a sideline route to pick up about 6 or 7, or give the quarterback an option to run once he gets it outside.
There's a look at the day here in Waterville, Central Maine, in the Lakes region of the state.
Doesn't seem like the first day of fall. It seems like November.
A little chilly.
A nice November day.
The breeze here, and the foliage is in full bloom. Clapp just overthrew Jones that time. You get the feeling that Jones is going to be an integral part of their offense this year?
Yes, I do. That was more of a direct pass to him, quick drop, so he couldn't get to avoid the rush or have to deal with the problems of the rush. They just went out to Jones. It was one of those things, just get him the ball out there in the flat and let him do the work himself. But the pass was overthrown in the top. But you're right, Scott. He's been on 3 or 4 patterns. They like to get him out of the backfield. Generally, when he goes, there is Mike Clapp in his first start. But generally, you see Jones, he's either split wide or in the wingback spot if he's going to go out for a pass or be in the pass pattern.
Clapp again to the air, going down the sideline. Jones! Oh, it hit him in the fingers.
He can do it much better than that in the pass.
Jones is angry, and I think he's got good reason to be.
Now, Jones was split wide left on that one. They took him out of the backfield, as I was saying, and he did the square out and up. And the defender bit on the right-hand side. I'm not sure who that was on the right-hand side. I think it was Pacini who was there. And then he just went on the fly pattern, and Clapp delivered the ball. Jones just couldn't wrap it up.
Punt is fielded at the 40 and straight up to the 30-yard line by Jason Jabber. We'll take a break here from Colby College. No score.
Hot town, summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirt and gritty.
Out around the collar? Loosen up with easy payments at your Chevrolet Geo dealer. Say hello to great model year-end savings during summer value days. Lease Geo Prism for just $199 per month for 36 months with 0 down. Includes air conditioning, dual airbags, and AM/FM stereo.
For sizzling summer values during summer value days, visit your neighborhood Chevy Geo dealer today.
Founded in 1813, Colby College is one of the premier liberal arts colleges in the nation. The faculty, whose members are dedicated to undergraduate teaching, is renowned for its excellence and scholarship.
It's what we do. That's what this college is about. It's about teaching. We're a teaching institution, and for me to have the privilege of being a small part of the faculty's opportunity to work with our students is both part of the joy of being president on the one hand, and on the other hand, of understanding what it is that our faculty and our students are engaged in every day in those classrooms. All of the senior administrative staff at Colby teach.
Colby's 1,700 students come from every state and more than 43 foreign countries. Students have wide flexibility to design independent study programs and to participate in internships and exchange programs. More than 3/4 of all Colby students will study abroad during their undergraduate experience.
Juan Curry on first down, straight into the line. And about a 2-yard pickup. It'll bring up 2nd and 8. Here's a look at press box and facilities here at Seaverns Field.
They won it all at the ball game at watching either team yet to get on the scoreboard.
Quick handoff inside to Gage. And he's down near the 27. Bantams say they've got the ball, but the referees disagree.
Yeah, they tried to take advantage of the play that they've been working on the quick pitch outside, fake the pitch to Curry, and gave it a Gage on the quick dive inside, trying to catch everybody a little bit off guard, but no go.
Other than the coin toss, we have not seen Captain Brad Smith today for Colby. He has the hamstring problem. They said if he played at all, it would be very limited action.
Tough to play in that spot when you have to stretch out the leg to run with the hamstring problem.
Matson delivered the ball, but Colby's receiver, Gage, couldn't hang on. One thing that they say about Matson is he's got a great arm. He's got a rifle, says Coach Tom Austin. He really got a bullet in there.
Yes, he did. Bob Ayer delivered a bullet of his own as he just ran over Gage. Big hit out in the side.
Well, timeout on the field. No score here from Colby. This is the ECAC game of the week on Nesson.
This is Ricoh, the incredible expanding fax, the world's fastest digital laser color copier, the MV715, fax, copier, and laser printer in one compact machine. And soon, partnered with Microsoft, the intelligent fax system, communications gateway to the world. This is leadership. The future has our name on it. The name to know, Ricoh.
Coach's call here on 4th and 6. They're going for it. Tom Austin has confidence in his mules. Let's see what P.J. Matson can do. Oh, what a catch! Matson to Gerard Deshaw, and he's got the hand.
I thought that was going about 3 feet over Deshaw. He jumped and he had like an extra gear, stepped in another step and went up higher and just grabbed that all fingers. Pretty good play for a guy who, until this year, never played wide receiver.
I was going to say, pretty good catch for a kicker.
That's right.
Watch this bullet. Oh.
Just hangs in the air.
Beautiful. Curry on first down. He can't get outside. Pushed down at the 15.
Good job of gang tackling, stretching that out along the left-hand side. Passeri was there on the play. Pizzuto as well, a big linebacker. Leading tackler, Zeb Andrews as well. So a lot of people there. Good job. I think they're starting to anticipate that the White Mules are working those corners, because on the last 2 or 3 times that they've gone to either the right-hand or left-hand side, there have been a lot of white shirts out there.
Curry actually lost a yard, 2nd and 11.
Nine people within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. You're playing everybody tight on the man-to-man coverage.
Matson, we got a flag down. Pass is complete to Gage. Fighting for the end zone. He's in. But we've got a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
It's in the backfield. Apparently that's a legal motion on the offense.
Flag on the play.
It would be a 14-yard touchdown if it stands, but let's sort this out.
Pretty darn good run by Gage, as he just had, I'm not sure who it was, on his back, and he just carried him into the end zone.
Well, it's all coming back.
You know, the coverage, as I mentioned, there were like 9, 10 guys inside 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, playing pretty tight man-to-man. The only guy who didn't get that kind of coverage was Gage. He was covered by the deep safety, and Alibrio, I believe it was.
Illegal procedure charged to the White
opening day crowd, but Alibrio gave him that room, and they just delivered the ball in that little pocket he had on the right-hand side. You're right, though, Scott. You mentioned Matson's arm. He has delivered the ball, both on that when he fired that one to Deshaw.
P.J. Matson is a junior out of Westboro, Massachusetts. Listed at 6'1", 192. And he'll take a minute now to talk things over with Tom Austin and the coaching staff.
The big thing is, what are you going to call in this particular situation? Thrown into the wind, so not sure if they'll go to the wide side of the field, anywhere to the sideline. They have, remember I mentioned a little bit earlier, Deshaw had run in a situation like this. He ran a post pattern from the weak side, which he is on right now. Everybody to the right-hand side. He ran the post in the middle of the field and was wide open. You know, when they used that formation, they set up, they had 2 wide receivers. They had in on the right-hand side. The tight end was on the right-hand side. So they were trying at least give the impression that the play is going in that area.
It's a 2nd down and 17. Ball back near the 19-yard line. And we've got about...
for the White Mules.
Well, there you see it. Precisely. 4:44 to play in this first half.
Watch the Shaw.
And Gage is split out wide. Curry, the lone man in the backfield. Pitch to Curry. Using his speed and rocked down at the 15.
Greg Forger there on the backside of that tackle.
Pretty good Jets there, Dave, but he didn't have a lot of help in front of him.
By Tony Rocco and Tom Main.
Hankard was there again. Once again, I think they're anticipating when the ball is pitched where the ball is going, trying to get to the outside, and there have been, as I said, a number of white shirts in that area outside of the end. Might be a good idea to try some sort of a misdirection type play as everybody's running to a spot, see if they can get across the green and give Curry some room to run against people's momentum.
3rd and 12. Now Curry in the slot. Kalela and DeShaw split right. Matson looking over the middle. Complete.
That was a good pattern.
Inside the 5-yard line, ball is caught. Fine reception that time by Brett Nardini, the tight end. Good hands.
Nardini did a nice job. Banthams are in his zone, and they're protecting the outside and the deep pass. Nardini comes out of the left-hand side of your screen, circles underneath, and finds an open area right inside of all the linebackers. Look at all those people. He just found the open area and then just drags people down to the 1-yard line. But that was a good job of finding an open area, going to the spot and holding on to the ball.
Not an easy throw from Matson, too. He really fired it in there. 1st and goal from the 1. Gage. Did he get it?
I don't think so.
Well, it was close. But
first hit was by Norton.
Colby's carried by Gage. Gain of about 2 feet on the play. 2nd down.
Look at Norton. He's standing up. The only head you can see in the right-hand side of your screen in white. And he's just going to step into that hole and meet Gage head on. And Gage tries to slip away but can't quite get there as he's hit by Norton in the backfield. Good job of linebacker play by the tight end.
Timeout for the Mules.
Linebacker.
The ball is now about a half a yard away from the end zone.
There is the big guy for the Trinity defense, Ryan Hankard. Who was the last tight end? Who's the last tight end to wear number 10? I mean, the last linebacker to wear number 10. There is our story as we go along here on the ECAC Game of the Week on Nesson. Maine Maritime, Mass Maritime up next. Down on Cod. Rob Marchitello, big runner, maybe going to set the all-time record in New England Division III for yardage gains. He's well on his way. He's a junior. And Bentley at night, Friday night, Dartmouth, Yale, and WPI and Springfield in a Freedom Football Conference matchup.
Here we go, 2nd and goal. Bantam's trying to put on the goal line stand.
They got Beatty in the backfield.
With Gage.
Strong safety.
Well, what's the call, ref, on the quarterback keeper?
I think he's in.
Touchdown, Colby.
Interesting play. They had Beatty in the backfield. I know my eyes are on Beatty. I know he's a high school quarterback. I thought they might try an option pass. Well, we don't see too many of those on the 1-yard line, but maybe that was a little bit of a distraction. Then they come with the most basic play of all, the quarterback sneak. So another job on the part of the coaching staff at Colby.
And Gerard DeShaw, who made the big catch, which kept this drive alive, is lining up for the point after. He was 21 of 24 extra points last year. 7 for 7 on field goals.
Usually it's the other way around, isn't it?
Up and through.
Good leg.
Mules take a 7-0 lead with 2:47 to play in this first half.
That was halfway to the middle of the track. There is the quarterback sneak. Look at Beatty, number 8, in your screen. I know my eyes were on him, and then He just finds a little bit of a hole, reminiscent of who? Bart Starr in the Ice Bowl of 1968, like we were talking about earlier. But he just finds a little bit of a crack. That's all the room he needed. And he gets the big push from behind by a number of guys and takes it in for the score.
Pretty impressive drive, though, for Colby. A couple of big pass plays and some decent running. Kept it alive.
Jared DeShaw set to kick off for the White Mules.
Now
Ray
DeShaw will kick away. Jones back there, along with Rob Kane. Jones is turning out to be Mr. Everything for the Bantams. He's rushed the ball quite a bit. He's taking some pass plays and seeing a lot of special teams action.
This is a chance for field position with the wind blowing straight in DeShaw's face. I mean, I think he's going to have a tough time. He'll do well just to get it to the 20. That compresses things. There's are the guys who will return DeShaw's kick. But I think the Bantams have a good chance to get field position if they handle it cleanly. You know, even a 15-yard return from where they're standing at the 20 is going to get him to the 35.
There's DeShaw. He wanted the alternate tee.
As we said, an interesting story. Never played wide receiver before. Didn't play it in high school. Comes here and turns out to be a guy who obviously has the good hands.
Yeah, how does a guy with hands like that
maybe he grew late
end up just being a kicker?
He booms it.
Jones from just inside his 20. Jones looking upfield, not going to get there.
Pretty good job by the White Mules.
15-yard return by Jones.
He's going to take over on the 33-yard line, but only a 13-yard return. And got down there in a hurry. Jabber making the big hit. And given the way that it is, I'll take that in terms of my defensive special teams coverage. Good job.
2:42 to play, so Trinity has the wind at their backs, and they need to go 67 yards for the score. Jones on the pitch, near the 40.
Just good execution, nothing fancy. Seen that play before. He has the option, though, as he gets the ball to either break it to the outside or take it back up the inside off the tackle. He broke it inside that time. Found a little bit of a crack, ran against the grain on the defense, and ran it up for 7 or so.
Bantam's defense.
They were diagramming play where Nardini went inside and found that open area in the zone, how to stop it.
Jones bumps off the line and gets something out of nothing.
Good blocking down there by Kane and Clapp, quarterback and wide receiver. Not the two most obvious blockers on the play.
By Jones, brought down by number 30.
Once again, Jones does a nice job seeing where the open area is and having the acceleration, the vision to see where the cut should be, and then the acceleration to get there. Watch this once again. This one is designed to go inside, and he breaks it out. And Kane is going to come into the side of your screen as he's fighting off the cornerback and gets just enough of a piece of his adversary there to give Jones the room to get upside, get up the sideline and go for the first down.
Ken Wilson helping out on the tackle. He's been active.
Brian Kennelly seeing action now. First time we've seen his number called on the defensive backfield for the White Mules. He's the guy banging it out with Kane down there.
Keneally played at Malden Catholic High School. He's out of Reading, Massachusetts. We got a timeout on the field. It was a first down pickup for Jones, so the Bantams have 1st and 10 from their 47. Another fumble. Clapp able to cover up, but this first half has been replete with mistakes for the Bantams.
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating for the offensive staff, coaching staff. I mean, all he does is he loses the ball. It's his, the ball just hits running back. He's going through the line of scrimmage.
That was Ranieri who actually caused the fumble.
Yeah. I mean, and Ranieri wasn't doing anything, he was just going to his spot. Clapp is carrying the ball too far away from his body, not protecting it, and his own man knocked it out of his hands.
Clapp looking to throw on the run. Now he tucks it in. And he picks up about 6, maybe 7 yards on the play. He's over midfield.
Gain of 5 on the play, brought down by number 54.
All right, we chastised him for the fumble. That time he does the nice job of picking his way, looking for, holding off the defenders by keeping the ball with the fake. And they didn't know if to come up or go back, if he was going to pass the ball or not. And he just bought enough time for himself to get to the line of scrimmage and then bring it upfield.
So 3rd down and 6 for the Bantams. Minute 19 to play in this first half. Colby up by a touchdown. Clapp going to the air. Oh, what a leveling hit.
And he hung on to the ball.
Not a first down. The catch was made by Rob Kane, but Jason Jabber came in and introduced him to the turf.
Gain of 4 on the play.
He got 2 full steps into that as Kane was looking in the backfield. Good job on the left-hand side of your screen. Well, take a look at the head first, but Kane catches it, and boom, Jabber right up clothesline. Not really a clothesline, but caught him in the shoulders. The legs went up about 5 more yards as he went down to the ground. They also did a nice job of picking up a safety blitz. Beatty was coming on the left-hand side.
Pretty good punt. Jabber tried to call the fair catch, and the ball just died inside the 5.
That hasn't been a real effective play for either team today. Calling those fair catches and then letting the ball roll, trying to get it to go in the end zone.
Colby has a 7-0 lead. They've got the ball back, and there's only about a half a minute to play, so you would suspect that they would kneel down, although let's sort out the flag, which was thrown back at the line of scrimmage.
To tell you the truth, though, the way people have been dropping the ball early on, it might be a good idea to stay away from that, especially, it's the toughest time to catch punches in winds like this. It's kind of a swirling wind, pretty much going toward the goal line on our right to the right of our pictures here. But if you look at the flag, it's swirling a little bit. Sometimes the flag's coming directly at the sideline. Other times it's going right at the goal post. So better to be safe than sorry to make a big mistake, even if you've got to carve yourself out of a bad area.
Now 2 punt returners back for Colby. This ball goes over Jabber's head again, but he catches a break as it skirts into the end zone.
The one time somebody tries and catches it, they can't. It just took off on him on the carry, and that one rolled into the end zone. That's the one they should have let go. That was an end-over-end kick.
Well, 25 seconds left in this first half, and with the ball at the 20, you would suspect that P.J. Matson and the White Mules would simply kneel on this one until time expires, take a 7-0 lead to the locker room.
Well, it's not like they're in the shadow of the goalpost. It might be one of those to fake it one time and then the second time come back and try and throw one deep, but doubt that's going to happen.
Ball down by P.J. Madsen. 2nd down.
Time is going to tick away.
Well, a lot of mistakes in this first half, Dave. I suppose you got to expect that in the first game of the season for both teams, but both clubs put the ball on the grass a couple times and a lot of mix-up in the backfield.
Particularly in the Trinity, and they've had more trouble than Colby to date, and that probably is a reason for the score being the way it is.
We're halfway through this one, a 1-yard touchdown plunge by P.J. Matson, and that's your score at the half.
Founded in 1813, Colby College is one of the premier liberal arts colleges in the nation. The faculty, whose members are dedicated to undergraduate teaching, is renowned for its excellence and scholarship.
It's what we do. That's what this college is about. It's about teaching. We're a teaching institution, and for me to have the privilege of being a small part of the faculty's opportunity to work with our students is both part of the joy of being president on the one hand, and on the other hand, of understanding what it is that our faculty and our students are engaged in every day in those classrooms. All of the senior administrative staff at Colby teach.
Colby's 1,700 students come from every state and more than 43 foreign countries. Students have wide flexibility to design independent study programs and to participate in internships and exchange programs. More than 3/4 of all Colby students will study abroad during their undergraduate experience.
Fuller Motorhome Rentals of Boylston, Massachusetts features year-round rentals of quality motorhome units that can accommodate 4 to 8 people or transport up to 12. A motorhome from Fuller is perfect for your next hunting, fishing, or golf excursion, or even a chauffeur-driven ride to a family function. So, whether you're planning a 4-day race weekend or an 8-week cross-country trip, reserve a dependable unit from Fuller Motorhome. Take exit 23B off I-290 in Boylston, Massachusetts.
Scott Trenchmontaine and Dave Long back at Colby College, the ECAC game of the week, and after one half, it's pretty even Steven, if you ask me, Dave.
Yeah, I think Trinity actually moved the ball better than Colby, although Colby's got the 7-0 lead. Colby had the one good drive where they pushed it down from just about around the 50-yard line or so. They had the great catch by DeShaw. But as you say, 23 yards to 21, can't get much closer than that. Trinity, a little bit of an advantage passing game. They spread the ball around. They had some nice passes. They've got a little bit of an edge in the total offense, and also an edge in penalties. And the penalties have hurt them. Took them out of couple of pretty decent drives. Put them in difficult second and long, third and long situations that, given the trouble they had in the backfield, they couldn't recover. So I think Trinity, opening game jitters for both. Didn't move the ball all that well. They showed spurts, each team, of the things that they can do.
Jim DeMarco set to kick away. Back deep is Lawan Curry. May not reach him. He's going to come up, and it was fielded by Jabber. Jabber dives into the line, and he's down at the 35-yard line.
He's been pretty active on returning. No matter where they put him. If they put him up short, the kick comes up short. If they put him deep, it goes deep to him.
Well, Jason Jabber, they love him here. He's a hometown boy, played at Waterville High School here in Waterville, and he's an impact player for the Mules. The only scoring in that first half, the 1-yard touchdown plunge by that man right there, P.J. Matson. And he's got his club 1st and 10 from the 35. Not much there for Curry.
Interesting to see what kind of adjustments they make. I thought in the series for Colby, they passed the ball more effectively. They spread the ball out. They went to the tight end. They went outside. And to DeShaw, who made the big catch that we talked about, but they spread the ball around and they became less predictable. And I think I would guess that some of the adjustments that we made to do that to add a little bit more variety to the offense, because in the first 20 minutes of the ball game, all they did was try and run right or run left with Curry, and Trinity eventually figured out that plan and started to stop it.
Matson on 2nd and 8, looking downfield, almost intercepted. Really triple coverage on Nardini that time. He got his hands on it, but the ball popped up and just kind of hung there dangerously as some Bantams were circling.
I will tell you, that was a dangerous pass. There were 3 people there. Rob Norton, who's down on the field right now, and I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it's a knee. It looks like it hurts. I know that, but he's not really grabbing any particular place in his body, so it's hard to tell which that or what the problem is.
Something in the upper body. I wouldn't want to speculate, but you're thinking shoulder, collarbone.
He comes out of the far side of your field. He was looking to Shaw. They were looking to Shaw. This is the second option on the pass. Pretty decent pass protection. Give him time to get the ball off. But as you can see, it'll come out of right to left. Matson looking for Nardini. And there is Norton, number 46, just on the left-hand side of your screen. He comes back in, and they landed on his ankle, almost one of those in his knees. It was...
Well, they've stabilized the left knee area for Rob Norton, and he's making his way up the field on crutches. On further replay, there's Rob. Did not look promising for the knee, Dave. It actually was a knee. We had initially speculated it might have been something in the upper body, but the replay showed pretty clearly that he buckled there a little bit.
Yeah, the whole momentum of the play came into him. He was on the outside of the play, and they hit him on the outside of, I think it's his left knee. So he looked to be in quite a bit. He was sitting down there. You know, this hurts Trinity in 2 sides of the ball. He plays both ways. He plays tight end He does a good job blocking, made a big catch in the first half, and of course it hurts him at the linebacker slot as well. So it's twice the impact in terms of the injury.
Well, back to the action. It's 3rd down and 8 for Colby.
That Curry split to the outside.
Trinity showing blitz, and they drew him offside.
Occasionally we've seen Curry in that position, but that is a pure passing set, as they have Curry was in the slot. They had 2 wideouts on the play and the tight end.
Offside on Trinity.
There you look at the dominance for Trinity in this series, and Colby, it's been a long time coming since they've been able to take it to the Bantams. They came about as close as they could last year, losing in the final seconds on a field goal.
17-15, great ball game.
Well, not only did they lose on a field goal, but they had scored earlier with about a minute left, and they went for the 2-point conversion and were successful to take the 15-14 lead, which was a gutsy call rather than go for the tie, but then the field goal came back and beat them.
Nice pass.
Nice pass and a nice catch by Gerard Deshaw. He was covered pretty well.
Look at the job he does using his body. He goes down about 8 yards outside, does a button hook, just turns around and shields the defender with his body as he gets there. I didn't think they were going to go to him, but there he is, and he has the defenders on his back. They couldn't get a position in there to get their hands on the ball, and that was really almost like a guy blocking out as a rebounder in basketball. Very good job by Deshaw.
1st down for the Mules at their 46. Lawan Curry. Bantam's doing a better job along the line, stacking him up.
Yeah, Zeb Andrews in there pretty early on that. He got him in the backfield, penetrated from his left defensive end position.
2nd down.
Pretty quick to get over there for that play. But again, Colby doing a better job moving the ball, and they are spreading the ball around. Lawan Curry not carrying it on every play, but he is, and they're using him a little bit more as a decoy, as he's been in the slot on several formations, or several plays here on this drive. So, as I say, I think they're more effective when they do that.
2nd and 9, Matson. He was in trouble from the get-go as a couple of Bantams got in there on him. Ryan Hankard for one, and also Michael Paremba.
Too many people at the line of scrimmage. The linebackers just went in and shot the gap, man-to-man blocking. Nobody there to get Hankard. Maybe the center could have gotten it, but he's too quick as he got a full step, anticipated the count very well, so he shot the gap. There's Jono, also in on the play. Take a look right in the middle of your screen. Nobody there to get Hankard, and he just walks up the area as the center moved over to block Pizzuto. Fowler did a nice job of cutting off Pizzuto, but there's just too many white shirts for the offensive line to handle.
3rd and 9. Matson, another bullet and a great catch by Deshaw. Again, he was kicker with the great hands.
And he was bumped as well. Rocco hit him early. Deshaw didn't get taken out of his pattern. He's going to come from the right-hand side of your screen, cutting toward the middle of your screen, and good pass protection. A lot of time to deliver the ball, and there he is into that open area. Just beat Rocco as he turned in on a little square in about 15 yards.
Starting to understand what Tom Austin meant when he said this P.J. Hatson's got a rifle.
Yes, he does, but also the pass protection. I mean, if you're on your back, you can't throw the ball like the play before that.
Whether you got a rifle or a pea shooter.
We have an Uzi, but that time he stood tall in the pocket, did a nice job, waited for Deshaw to clear after he made his move, cut to the inside, and then he just delivered the ball. That's what the really strong arm does for you. If you don't have the strong arm, sometimes you're going to have to throw the ball right before the cut. That time he was allowed, he had the ability or afforded the time to sit there, wait for the cut, and boom, he could get it there in one step.
Colby will decline the penalty. There's Rob Norton. He's in some kind of pain right now.
Come on, defense!
Gutsy player. You don't see a lot of guys at this level playing both sides of the ball.
I think we're going to see, it'd be interesting to see what Trinity's answer is on to try and take the Shaw out of the pattern. They're crowding him a little bit the line of scrimmage, see if they can take away that first burst.
Matson does a good job to get it away and catch by Gage, but fine defensive coverage by Bob Ayer.
This time they go into the area, they send the Shaw on kind of a crossing pattern. His area clears out, and they try and stick Gage down in the flat where they were hoping that the defense would clear it out, but that's not the case. Good job on the linebackers for the Bantams to pick up that play out of the backfield.
Ayer was right there, and it's now 2nd and 9.
I tell you, the Shaw's becoming a focal point of the offense here in last period and a half.
Good draw to Curry. Can he maintain his footing? Oh, and it's too bad because he had some room along this near sideline.
He had a lot of room. He got hit, though. That was the longest falling forward lunge I've seen in quite some time. He gets hit in the backfield. Very good play. This is the advantage of spreading it around. He's not expected on every play. Gets hit 3 yards deep and fights for everything he can get. But as you said, Scott, if he doesn't get hit, he has a lot, or stays on his feet, he's got lots of room on the right-hand sideline.
Almost a foot race to that end zone for Loan. It was a good play call. It was now 3rd down and 5.
I'll tell you, the last 2 drives in the part of Colby, they've looked very effective on the offensive end.
Pitch to Curry. Nothing there. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
A lot of people down in the bottom of the pile there. Goals, Lenzer. I think they've got that play figured out.
Another big call here for Tom Austin. He went for it on 4th down in the second quarter. Now he's got a similar situation, 4th down and about 5. Curry will line up in the slot. The Shaw. Kalela.
It's the situation where they like to blitz. They've only got 1 man in the backfield to block in the passing situation.
Now Curry in motion. Matson right to the sideline. Ball is caught. Not enough for the first down. I don't believe that the Shaw was far enough upfield.
Well, Matson didn't have a chance. They had the blitz on. He had to get rid of it in a hurry, or he was going to take the sack in the backfield. Here it is. Take a look. And good pressure. That's Hanker, who had come in, kind of shot the gap around the left, over the left guard or the left side. Actually, it was the right guard for Colby. And Matson just had to get rid of the ball. He didn't have the time to look upfield and take it into an area that would give him a first down.
Tony Rocco on the coverage for the Bantams. He knew exactly where DeShaw was, and he knew exactly where the first down marker was, and he held his ground. Let's take a moment now to welcome to our broadcast Richard Hazelton. He's the athletic director for the Trinity Bantams. Richard, glad to have you with us. Your team just fumbled again. It's been a problem for them.
Nice to be here, but it's nice to see a play like that.
Let's take another look. This is not the first time they've had problems with the snap.
It continues to be a problem. That time he never even got the handle on it. And it looked like the center just took it back with him as Joe Cerruto took it with him as he went forward trying to drive block. I didn't have a chance to say to Richard that you're going to bring luck to Trinity as you got here. But
I hope so. I hope we can get a little luck. You're seeing 2 offenses that are very young, I think, and just going to take them a while to get going.
Of course, and we're also their first game of the season, and a little bit later than just about anybody who's starting. Kind of reflects the philosophy of an ECAC.
Yeah, we play 8 games. We have 23 practice opportunities, so most of the players are coming back right around with everybody else. We had a scrimmage last week. We scrimmaged Bates, and Colby scrimmaged Williams. Gives us a little opportunity to get some kids in.
Colby with the ball back. There was a personal foul called, so instead of starting inside their 30, they start back at the 44. Matson complete. Found his wideout Tom Kalela.
First time we've seen Kalela. As again, the diversification of the offense continues. Of course, this is an unaccustomed position for Trinity to find themselves in an opening day game down, and generally doesn't happen, or hasn't. Certainly
we're down a little bit this year. We've had 15 years of good seasons, and we hope to bounce back and finish this game strong and continue through.
Of course, stability has been a a major hallmark for Trinity. Same, had 2 coaches in the last 63 years.
Yes.
And Don Miller's the junior member of that tandem.
He sure is. He's won 70% of his games, and I think Dan Jesse was around 67, 68% of his games. So in 63 years, that's a pretty strong football record.
Another mistake here for Colby as they moved too soon. They had a 2nd and long 4. That'll push them back.
I think there's a reason for that kind of stability with 2 people wanting to stay around that long. Or just
I don't know. We've had Trinity's had a lot of. We just had 2 people retire about 2 years ago that were there over almost 35 years. So they seem to like it there.
2nd and 9.
And of course, the NESCAC, the division that the teams compete in, is a little bit different philosophy than we see in the major colleges, or most any college in college athletics today.
You're seeing coaches coach 2 sports. You're seeing a lot of players play 2 sports. You've got a lot of football, lacrosse, football, baseball players out here. Football track kids.
2nd down and 9 for the Mules. They've got the 7-0 lead here in the 3rd quarter. Nice catch by the tight end, Nardini.
Good pattern by Nardini. He runs underneath the wide receivers who went outside, trying to drag the coverage with him, and he just cuts into the area where Deshaw had just cleared out. The zone coverage gave the underneath pass, and Nardini took what they gave him.
Third down and short now for the Mules.
Situate, Massachusetts, great part of New England, beautiful place.
Pitch to Curry, tripped up in the backfield. He's short of the 1st down.
What are your thoughts on the game so far in terms of what kind of adjustments would you expect to see Trinity make?
Well, as I see that the defenses on both sides are playing strong. Deshaun has been, especially in the first half when he caught that ball down there in the other end and kept the drive going, helping Colby out, and they've been looking to him this half. Hopefully Trinity can get some offense going.
Derek Bugby back to punt. He's at about his 47-yard line, and Rob Kane will return for the Bantams. Bugby punting with the wind behind him, puts it over Kane's head and into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20, where the Bantams will start 1st and 10. About midway through the 3rd quarter, Colby up by a touchdown. We'll be back.
Hot town, summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirt and gritty.
While it's hot enough to fry an egg on the sidewalk, your Chevrolet Geo dealer can get you into a new 95 over easy. Get model year end savings during summer value days. Like $300 cash back on Geo Metro with dual airbags and more. It's one of the most fuel-efficient cars on the road today.
For sizzling summer values during summer value days, visit your neighborhood Chevy Geo dealer today.
Fun, easy, inexpensive, and ingenious.
That's what coaches and experts say about Solo Tennis. Improves all tennis skills. Form, timing, speed, confidence, strength, and endurance.
How does it work?
Just hit the ball and Solo Tennis will return it to you every time.
Who can play?
Anyone of any age. Simple enough for a novice, yet challenging enough for an expert.
Where can you play?
Anywhere. No backboard or tennis court is needed. Solo Tennis is a fun, exciting game you can play anytime. Tennis USTA magazine says,
take full natural strokes and the ball comes back to you every time.
Inside Tennis magazine calls it
simple yet innovative.
Solo Tennis, called the best invention in 20 years by World Tennis magazine, is now available for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. For fast delivery, just call the toll-free number on your screen. Solo Tennis comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Order yours today.
Is a new quarterback for Trinity, replacing Mike Clapp. Mullaney actually came in on the last series, but never got his hands on the ball. It was a fumbled snap, and the ball went back to Colby. Joe Mullaney is a sophomore out of Wellesley, Massachusetts.
Joe is an all-state quarterback at Wellesley, all-state Massachusetts quarterback.
quite a battle for the quarterback slot this year at Trinity after a year of, a couple of years of some pretty good quarterbacking.
We've had some great quarterbacks at Trinity, and somebody's going to come to the top here.
We've seen an awful lot of Raymond Jones. Mulaney rolling, has some room, turns it upfield, and he scoots out of bounds at the 32-yard line. He should have a first down or close to it, but my point about Raymond Jones is whoever the quarterback is, we've already seen that Raymond Jones is...
Luke Lumping, darling, you're wonderful.
He's the key in the offense right now. Raymond's your typical Division III athlete. He's a wrestler. He's been to the NCAA wrestling tournament 2 years ago. Last year he hurt his shoulder, and he's also on the track team. So he's involved in sports all 3 seasons.
Good presence of mind by Mulaney here. Very good. People in the coverage, and he waited.
Fine run there by Raymond Jones. Took a hard hit and spun off for another couple yards. He'll be close to another first down.
Just to finish the point, though, on that play by Mulaney, he waited, gave the receivers an opportunity to get into the open areas. As I said, they had 7 people in the coverage, so he didn't panic and try and force one in or throw one out of bounds. He allowed the momentum to take the receivers deep, which created a little bit of a pocket for himself, and that's how he went up and picked up that first down.
It is indeed a first down as the Dorchester, Massachusetts product picked up 10. Lady didn't have a lot of time there to execute.
Sacked on the play by Henry Hume and John 10.
Just really nowhere to go with it. Just good penetration on the part of Colby, as you can see, gang tackling there to take Mulaney out of the spot. Really wanted to pitch it back, Kaija, but he didn't even have a chance to do that as the blue shirts were on top of him before he even got past his guard.
It'll be a second down and 11 for the Bantams. Mulaney rolling, looking, firing, complete. Oh, another big hit.
Kane again. And he holds on.
Second time 22's been hit hard.
I know. They must.
Mark Sinclair there leveling the boom.
Is there a glue factory close to Wesley? Trinity receivers. This guy Kane's a tough guy. This is the second time. Not only took the hit, but how does he hold on?
Mark Sinclair out of Quincy, Massachusetts, and Rob Kane also out of Quincy, Massachusetts. Those 2 gentlemen reacquainting themselves with one another.
Probably have done that before.
Probably on each other's yard or something, or in the playground.
You know, I've been saying this during the course of the year, Scott, but sometimes the best runs are short runs. That play by Jones was designed to go outside. He knew he needed to pick up 2 yards. He saw the hole and made a pretty tough lateral cut to get his body back up that lane and take advantage of the hole. And he took it up over the sticks for the first down.
There's a clap on the sideline now. I noticed that Sinclair, they're both juniors, Sinclair and Kane, but Sinclair played at North Quincy High, and Kane played at, just says Quincy, Mass. So I'm assuming that's a different school, and they probably faced off against each other many a time before. Mulaney, another good run for the new quarterback, and he's got a first down.
Did exactly what he's supposed to do. When you have the ball as a quarterback in that option play, you're supposed to make them stop you. The defenders, usually it's the linebacker, is going to step into that area, but as you see, the blue line collapses back. Really good block along the right-hand side, which buys the time for Mulaney to take it up on the right side. I think it was Tim Hawk, the right tackle, on the block, and he just collapsed the linebacker, which gave Mulaney all kinds of room. Again, watch Hawk on the right-hand side of your screen. He's just pushing the defense and the linebacker on the strong side back. That's John Ginn, and he just collapses, and Mulaney has, as I said, a lot of room to run.
Jones lunges ahead for about 3.
And Richard Hazelton, you've got to like what you're seeing now. Things are kind of falling into place.
I think that's what Mulaney was, his bread and butter was when he was in high school, was a running quarterback, option quarterback, and I think that's probably what we'll see out of him. We haven't seemed to move the ball in the air as much.
I'm convinced that if Trinity could stay away from some of the mental mistakes that hurt them in the first half,
sure.
they could put a drive together.
Yeah.
Well, they moved the ball. It's just mistakes stopped them early on throughout the first half.
Mullaney on the option, opts to keep it.
Yeah.
Down inside the 25. He'll be close to a first down.
Once again, great blocking on the left-hand side. Tiger Reardon just collapsed again. That linebacker standing over the top or maybe on the outside of his shoulder, which creates that pocket and gives Mullaney running room. They might be surprised a little bit. This is a nice switch. Sometimes you'll see one quarterback come in who's a thrower who's just not having a good day, and you're replaced by a guy who's similar. Now we've got a guy who's running the offense much different, and it takes it's a change in the game plan, and Colby has not really reacted to that very well. They don't seem to have enough people in those areas to stop Mullaney when he keeps it off the option.
Third and very short. Pitch to Jones, cuts it outside. Raymond Jones has the first down and more.
That was a nice piece of running. Once again, that was it's designed, if you take a look at it on the replay, it's going to go over the tackle. He's looking to go over Hawk, but he sees the blue shirts on the inside. He's got the lead blocker, and he just breaks it outside, just uses his speed.
Tough player, too. You rarely see Raymond Jones go down on the first or even the second hit. He maintains his balance, takes a few pops, and always gets a little bit extra. We'll take a break here. 7-0 Colby, but the Bantams on the move.
Founded in 1813, Colby College is one of the premier liberal arts colleges in the nation. The faculty, whose members are dedicated to undergraduate teaching, is renowned for its excellence and scholarship.
It's what we do. That's what this college is about. It's about teaching. We're a teaching institution, and for me to have the privilege of being a small part of the faculty's opportunity to work with our students is both part of the joy of being president on the one hand, and on the other hand, of understanding what it is that our faculty and our students are engaged in every day in those classrooms. All of the senior administrative staff at Colby teach.
Colby's 1,700 students come from every state and more than 43 foreign countries. Students have wide flexibility to design independent study programs and to participate in internships and exchange programs. More than 3/4 of all Colby students will study abroad during their undergraduate experience.
And we're back at Colby College here in Waterville, Maine. The Mules holding a 7-0 lead, but the Bantams are charging. They've got ball now near the 15-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, just
and they have started to eliminate some of the mental mistakes that hurt them in the first half.
You know, I mentioned that Colby was not really adjusting to the different kind of offense they're facing. That's what that timeout was about. They wanted to talk to the defensive people and get Mike off and get his guys figuring out that they are alert to the fact that they've got to stop a different kind of quarterback, take away from, forget about the pass, or at least don't put quite as much attention on the pass, and be aware that he's likely to just take off and run with the ball.
1st and 10 from near the 15-yard line. Mullaney, option.
And that's the first time they stopped it.
Great defense as Beatty came up and met the man. A couple of big hits thus far.
I'll tell you, John Parker's the guy who made the play, though. He forced the pitch out, and if you saw the defensive alignment that time, they had the entire defensive backfield right on the line of scrimmage. It's going to come out of the left-hand side of your screen. Number 9, Parker, right there. He forces the pitch, and then Beatty, who had strung it out, makes the play right there. They had their keys down, they read what they were supposed to do, and they executed. Now the trick might be to pull off of that option and throw a pass, get a wide receiver to sneak back.
2nd and 11. Little lateral to Jones as Mullaney was falling down. Heads up play. Jones picked up a couple of yards. Like an overhand lateral.
You know, sometimes, as I started to say, you can overcompensate. And if you bring that many people to the line of scrimmage, maybe not now, but maybe 2 or 3 plays later, or when they need it, like they do, well, in a passing situation now, but maybe one of those run-pass situations, you can sneak somebody like a Parker, like he did a little earlier in the game, into the weak side of the field, away from the attention on the ball, and just pull up and go for a pass.
Well, it's obvious that
nowhere to go there. 6 blue shirts.
It's obvious that Mulaney's a pretty good athlete. We've seen him run, and that took a little bit of dexterity there to get that lateral off.
All kinds of room.
Here's the reverse.
Oh, great recovery.
Colby did a nice job closing it off near the 7-yard line, but Rob Kane came all the way around from the other side on the reverse.
It looked like he had the entire right side of the field all to his own, but Colby did a nice job of closing on the play. Kenny Wilson came up from the safety spot to make that tackle. Watch Kane, he's right in the bottom of your screen. A very wide reverse. Usually you don't see them that far away from it. No containment, though, to turn the play inside. And right from here, I thought he was going to go all the way. But look at Kenny Wilson come into the play and just push him back, force the 4th down.
4th down and about 3 yards, and it looks like Trinity is going to bring on the kicking unit. Jim DeMarco tried a 34-yarder earlier, and he came up short. Now they'll take a timeout on the field, and Trinity will think about it. So we'll come back, and the Bantams will have a decision to make. 7-0 Colby.
What happens when you mix NFL football with Nashville country music? You get NFL Outlaw Country. Football like you've never heard before. Join Travis Tritt for one partying home video featuring the biggest stars of the NFL doing their thing to the hottest sounds in country.
What goes up must come down. It comes down and come back around.
Don't miss this special TV offer. There are absolutely no magazines to buy and no clubs to join. Call and order Outlaw Country, where the NFL meets Nashville in one unforgettable home video. Only $19.95.
Use your credit card and call 1-800-468-3100 to order your NFL Outlaw Country video, where the NFL meets Nashville. Only $19.95 plus shipping. This is a special TV offer. Call now 1-800-468-3100.
25-yard field goal attempt for Jim DeMarco. He tried a 34-yarder earlier, and it was short. He's kicking directly into the wind. Lots of leg on that one, up and through.
Field goal attempt. Good.
Jim DeMarco from 25 yards out gets Trinity on the board, and it's a 4-point game.
Gives Richard Hazelton a chance to get the last word.
Yep. Well, it's that drive. They had to get something out of that drive, and it was a nice, at least get 3 points out of it. I just want to say thanks to Nesson and to ECAC for having Trinity and Colby on and showcasing some Division III football in New England. It's great to have this, and we appreciate it quite a bit. Thanks a lot, guys.
Well, Richard, thanks for stopping by. And good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Richard Hazelton, the athletic director for Trinity College. Important for the Bantams to at least come away with 3 on that drive, Dave. It was a pretty impressive drive. It stalled there at the end as Colby got tough on D. At least get the field goal. Well,
you know what? I think it was a good move because they have showed that they can move the ball, and they're giving Colby trouble.
Loose football. Boy, Colby dodged a bullet that time as the wind really held up that kick, and it was almost recovered by the Bantams as they ran downfield for coverage.
That kick was going backwards. That went up and hit it about the 30-yard line, and the wind took it and brought it back toward the kicking team, I think. And it gave him a chance to get underneath it.
Good look at Tim Hawk there, and right next to him, Rob Sabati.
You know, the point I was going to make, though, is because Trinity demonstrated that they can move the ball, and they did a nice job with Mulaney. Given that fact, I can see why they went for the kick, and I would have done the same thing. If they really had struggled and just kind of wound up down there and were 4th and 2, I think I might have gone for it.
Matson looking downfield, has Nardini up at the 40. Good throw, good catch.
Did a nice job of finding the hole, the seam. He just ran straight up the hash mark and found that open area.
The other point, Dave, is the Bantams got that 3 points. They know that in the next quarter they'll have the wind at their back. And as you mentioned, Mulaney's been moving the ball for them, so I think it's a good idea to get 3 and wait for the next offensive series. It's a 4-point lead for Colby after 3 quarters. We'll be back.
For over 50 years, the Eastern College Athletic Conference has assured its membership of the highest level of organization and competition in collegiate athletics. The ECAC is the largest athletic conference in the NCAA, representing about 25% of its members. Comprised of 256 colleges and universities, encompassing divisions 1, 2, and 3, the ECAC is a conference of conferences, including the Ivy League, the Big East, the East Coast Conference, and numerous other conferences in all divisions.
Founded in 1813, Colby College is one of the premier liberal arts colleges in the nation. The faculty, whose members are dedicated to undergraduate teaching, is renowned for its excellence and scholarship.
It's what we do. That's what this college is about. It's about teaching. We're a teaching institution, and for me to have the privilege of being a small part of the faculty's opportunity to work with our students is both part of the joy of being president on the one hand, and on the other hand, of understanding what it is that our faculty and our students are engaged in every day in those classrooms. All of the senior administrative staff at Colby teach.
Colby's 1,700 students come from every state and more than 43 foreign countries. Students have wide flexibility to design independent study programs and to participate in internships and exchange programs. More than 3/4 of all Colby students will study abroad during their undergraduate experience.
There's a good look at John Dugan, a preseason All-America pick for Trinity. He's the senior out of Gonzaga High School, Washington, D.C.
Who else? I was going to say, who else went to that high school, but it's not. It's John Stockton went to Gonzaga College. But, just to finish the point, we're talking about the Bantams picking up the win here in the fourth quarter. More importantly, Colby loses the win. They've shown that they're passing the ball. I don't expect the passing game to be as important for Trinity here in the second half with Mulaney running the show, and they're more likely to do some option type plays on their offensive end, but they do put Colby to disadvantage thrown into this win.
Matson couldn't connect that time with Gage, who was wide open in the flat. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
You can see there the offensive staff talking to Wesleyan about attacking off the left-hand side over Tiger Reardon in that area with the option. Have the quarterback go there, and he's got the option to run the ball and kick it back. But it looks like that area that they're going to focus on when they go into the offensive end. At least that's what they're talking about now, and a better way to execute.
Curry in motion. Gage gets the quick handoff inside. Bantam's defense playing strong along that front.
And Matson coming to the sideline. I'm not sure. Exactly what's going on. Unless they're going to kick. Now he runs back out. Not too worried about that clock. Usually you don't see that. A guy walking over, taking the play, and then coming back.
Well, he's on the near hash mark. 3rd and 10. He has 3 receivers as Curry's in the slot, Kalela, and DeShaw. DeShaw on the near side of the field, bottom of your screen. Matson gets out of trouble. Has some room to run. Oh, he's rocked hard out of bounds up to the 44, well short of the 1st down.
Poremba on the big hit. Michael Poremba, 42. Playing in the left cornerback slot. Looks like he's got some room to go. But as you can see, pretty good coverage by the secondary. And Poremba was covering Curry, who fights off the block and just introduces himself to Matson.
It's Derek Bugby. They'll punt it away, and the Bantams will get the ball right back after they just knocked in a field goal.
Again, this is a field position type of kick. Very critical with the wind. Tough to punt.
Held up. Kane will not get his hands on it for a return. Bantams will have pretty decent field position starting at their 33.
Pretty good punt into the wind. I mean, we saw the kickoff that started the second half. That followed the start of the second half, just blow back and die in midair at about the 35-yard line. So to get probably about a 35-yard pickup net gain off the punt is pretty good work.
Joe Mulaney has replaced Mike Clapp at quarterback for the Bantams, and He was, you'd have to say, he was instrumental on that last scoring drive for Trinity.
See what they do. They've got three linebackers standing over almost as defensive ends in the setup against the Trinity offense right now, which is a change. They had been for most of the game have linebackers about 2 or 3 yards off the line of scrimmage and roaming just a little bit, sometimes inside, sometimes outside. Now, as I say, they're almost moving along the line of scrimmage. They have a 6-man front, and they're almost stand-up defensive ends to try and force the play inside.
Jason Jabber closed in on Jones that time. Raymond got the 2-yard pickup.
This is football weather. They say a little bit colder than normally in the season, but what a beautiful day.
Nice pass by Mullaney there, and pretty good catch. Good job hanging on to the football, Matt DeFiore.
He's replacing Rob Norton at the tight end slot. Took a couple of big hits like tight ends are supposed to. Doesn't give it up. Trinity picks up the first down. Here's the replay. Nice job of protection. Mullaney's got plenty of time to pass. He's not going to be a threat to throw the ball deep. Good hit, fights it off. A couple of blue shirts come in and try and close it down, but Puccini was the guy who made the tackle that stuck.
DeFiore out of Norwell, Mass. He played at Thayer Academy, a school well known for putting out some pretty good hockey players. Jones taken down in the backfield. Nice defense, good penetration, and lateral movement by Andrew Drew.
By Andy Drew, lost 3 on the play.
Jeff Sklar's in that play as well. Seems like they've made that adjustment. You need to get penetration against the option quarterback to force him to get rid of the ball or force him away from the line of scrimmage so he can't be kind of moving forward in a little bit of an angle along the line of scrimmage.
Mullaney opts to keep it. Couldn't get outside.
Picked up about 3, though.
Ken Wilson shot over and made the shoestring tackle.
Closest thing to an option quarterback, if you will. He's almost like the middleman in a fast break. Beatty decided to go to the outside, which left him the only option to take it inside. Beatty gets back into the play, but it was a nice job. Actually, only one guy there. You want 2 people, one to take the quarterback, one to take the halfback. Beatty had to decide what he was going to do. He jumped outside and got help from the back people coming in from the linebacker spot.
We're right above that green banner, the ECAC banner. Timeout on the field. Colby with the 7-3 lead, but the Bantams looking strong, looking like they're poising for a comeback.
Here is, to give you an idea, take a look at the flag in the middle of the screen, see how stiff the breeze is, and on par it dies, so it makes me look bad. Interesting conference there. It's all the defensive backs. As we mentioned, Colby finished strong, working on a 7-game winning streak. And as you mentioned, Scott, something like 14-0, 14-0-1 in their last 15 ball games here in Waterville.
And they know well that their only loss last year was to Trinity. We oh, there's Rob Norton. Boy, tough break for Rob.
Looking a little bit better than he was before. Yes, now it's the reality sets in. He's probably going to miss some ball games more than likely, but looks in a little bit less or a little bit more comfortable than he was early on.
Big 3rd down play here. Caught. Mullaney kind of lofted that pass up, but it was hauled down nicely. I think it was Kane.
I'll tell you, he took a big hit from Pirani, too. If you watch it on the replay, watch this. He really doesn't have his feet set. Not even sure what direction Pirani came from, but boom, he gets it a second after he gets rid of the ball. Really doesn't zip it in there. As I said, I don't think arm strength is the big thing with Mullaney, so they've got to concentrate on the short passes. And so far, he has pushed all the right buttons and has really turned the offense up several notches since he's come in the ball game.
Tip your cap to Rob Kane, who had to go up and grabbed that ball, and he took a pretty good all the way down as well. Mulaney pushed to the outside. Nothing there. They just sealed him off.
Good defense.
Jabber again in on the lead, but they just sealed him off.
Absolutely. They just stood up the offensive line. They weren't able to get the drive to push people back off the line of scrimmage, and the whole thing was like kind of like a chorus line moving down the line. As you can see, everything happens on the right-hand side of your screen. Look at the linemen. None of the offensive linemen are over the line of scrimmage. And then here comes the pursuit with all the people, and it's Jabber who's got the outside responsibility. Ginn playing out of that right end spot. He finishes off from behind, but very good coordinated team effort on the defense.
Mike Ranieri's one mission was to block Jabber off that play, and Jabber just pushed him to the turf, pushed him aside. We got a flag deep in the secondary.
And they're not even doing it with the, that's usually a delay of game. They're not really even doing it with the cornerback. I shouldn't say that. Beatty has come up and made a couple of nice stops, or forcing Mulaney to make his decisions. Beatty coming out of the strong safety spot, but that time the cornerbacks were off the play, far from the line of scrimmage, and it was the linebackers and the defensive line just sliding down toward the sideline.
2nd and 17 now off the penalty. Jabber coming in on the blitz, but they go to Jones through the middle. Jabber had the outside lane, and they tucked it inside to Raymond.
Looked pretty dangerous. I like that play, though. Jones was in the wingback spot on the left-hand side. It was almost the old crosswalk exact play. I don't know. We were doing a game last week. We didn't see it in the highlights in that Florida-Tennessee game. They did that exact play. Guy came out of the wingback spot on a crosswalk, kind of a long developing handoff, and he ran for about 30 yards for a touchdown on the left-hand side. That was a little bit more inside, but it was the same design of that play.
3rd and 12 for the Bantams. Mulaney looking across the middle, complete, and a first down. Another big catch for Matt DiFiore.
Two people are down. Beatty's down behind the play. But I'll tell you what, that is all timing on the part of Mulaney. Because as we said, strength of arm is not really, his major asset. But he, remember I was talking earlier about how the guy with the stronger arm can throw it after the break. Mulaney does it the other way. It's all timing. And DeFleury is just running down the field. And he never really broke, but they just threw it early, and Beatty really took the big hit.
Well, Parker is the one who's down on the field still. He collided with one of his fellow defensive backs. It's number 9, John Parker, who's lying on the turf.
And he is getting up now.
Big play on 3rd down and 11. Mulaney has proven that he can get the job done. He may not be the most gifted quarterback in terms of throw, but he's a pretty good runner, and he seems to be a pretty good clutch guy on the big plays. He makes good things happen.
To me, that's the difference between college football and pro football. When you have a quarterback who can run that option, I mean, it's extinct in the pros, and guys are so big there. It's a beautiful thing.
Loose ball. Colby says they've got it. The officials agree. Another big turnover has been haunting the Phantoms all game.
Oh, yeah, that's a complicated handoff. I mean, inside, it was the guys were running in front of. They're both crisscrossing there at the same time. Your execution's got to be, there's no margin of error in a play like that. And I think the two runners banged as they went. Jones was one of them. Banged into each other. Here it is. Actually, it's a little bit of a reverse. That's a very difficult play. Ranieri and Kaija having difficulty on the handoff. Inside reverse, all inside the guards. It's very difficult.
Matson, sideline. Had his man open, Kalela, for a moment, but he threw it a little bit wide.
That was another example of his ability to throw the ball downfield, about 25 yards from the line of scrimmage. and about a 35-yard carry, and he overthrew on the line.
Into the wind.
Into the wind. And, I mean, that was not a dying quail.
Well, 8:22 to play. You may wonder why Colby would be throwing the ball. They might want to establish a little bit of a ground game here and try and run the clock down. But when you're up by 4, I think Coach Tom Austin thinks that we need some more points to put this one away.
Especially with the way Trinity's been moving the ball. And you also might catch him by surprise.
Intercepted! Matson is intercepted! Touchdown for Trinity! John Golis, the preseason All-American.
Penalty flag on the field in the defensive secondary, though.
John Golis, the senior out of Manchester, Connecticut, just stepped in and picked the ball.
Now they're definitely going to be throwing. Scott is a prophet today.
Matson was the last mule who had a chance to take down Golis, and it was a serious mismatch.
Check it out, Matson, pretty deep drop. They try and go with the inside screen to Curry. Golis the only one there, and the big guy shows when he sees pay there. But just watch Golis. He's going to come. He's actually right on the center, and just does a nice job of pursuing and reading where Curry was going, and he just got himself into the middle of that screen, and I just don't think that Matson ever saw him.
John Golas. Official timeout.
There's a look at John Golas. Timeout takes an official on the field as Trinity lines up for the point after. 8:11 to play in this one, and how quickly the tide turns.
But plenty of time to obviously to take the ball down the field, and with the ability that Colby has shown behind Matson to move the ball through the air, they'll have they're going to have a couple of more opportunities. Certainly just getting it back on the kickoff the first time, but the one disturbing part, or beyond giving up an interception to score, is the ability that Trinity's shown behind Mulaney to move the ball on the ground, which takes time off the clock and, you know, takes away from your opportunities. So I think it's important from Colby's standpoint, once they get the ball back, to at least advance it and change the situation that they've been dealing with on field position for most of the second half.
The extra point attempt for Jim DeMarco. Blocked. Kick is blocked, recovered in the end zone. They get the conversion.
Talk about bad luck on a series.
Ball was recovered by Michael Poremba.
Wow. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that.
Oh, goodness.
I mean,
credit Colby for getting in there to block it, and they still give up 2 points.
I don't think this kick got above the waist of anybody who came charging in on this thing. It was no chance whatsoever. Just hit, I think it hit the center in the back, and then it just kind of, you know, the tendency there is to the tendency there is to kind of give up a little bit, although the Colby guys didn't do that. But the tendency when you see it blocked, you think the ball is dead, or many people do. And Brian Kennelly tried to pick it up instead of fall on it, and paid the price as the ball skirted across. I'm not even sure who made the recovery there.
The recovery was made by Michael Poremba. There's the scoreboard. They have not, well, yeah, it could be 11. It says 10-7. And the officials, well, they signaled for the conversion, but as Kevin Pirani was coming over the sideline, he was clapping and waving his hands as if the officials waved it off.
I'm wondering if they interpreted the Kennelly trying to pick it up. He had the chance to advance the ball. You can score. The defense can score if they pick up the ball in that area. So the recovery has got to be made. The ball's not dead.
Conversion good by number 42, Mike Poremba.
And it is going to be good. There's the official announcement.
So Poremba recovers the football, and the conversion is good.
That's a mental mistake. You got to fall on the ball in that situation.
They still only have 7 points on the scoreboard, Dave.
Right. They scored a touchdown, and they got the 1 point off the attempted conversion. Or you
why would you get 11? A 2-point conversion?
It would seem that you should, wouldn't it?
I thought you'd get 1 for kicking it through the uprights.
As I say, I've never seen this before.
Someone give me a rule book.
Really? That's the first time I've ever seen a team score off a blocked extra point. I've seen defensive players score, pick it up and run, and they get 2, which would make sense. Probably has to do with the fact that it was a kick. Controversy has dogged or centered itself here at the ECAC game of the week. In our opener, UNH-UConn, controversy surrounding a timeout called at the end of the game.
Official timeout.
And a field goal. It
was credited to UNH, but taken away, rightfully so, as it came after the clock. Not too much controversy last week. Holy Cross UMass, which UMass pretty much had it their way the whole day.
Well, Colby now has the ball back at their 21, and they've got some work to do. They had a touchdown in the first half, a 1-yard touchdown plunge by P.J. Matson.
And they moved the ball here in the second half, or ever since that particular drive, but they have not been able to sustain it. Pick up a couple of first downs, 3 first downs, but they can't get over the hump.
Matson going deep. Curry's open. Oh, he dropped the football.
Now, that was a tough catch, though. The ball was just behind him. He couldn't stop. His momentum was taking him away from the ball, and he was trying to put the brakes on, and it touched his hand, but he was falling away. I don't think that was his fault. That was a factor of the wind. We've been talking about it.
Well, hit him in the hands, Dave.
He was, but you watch.
Oh, I'm not saying it's an easy catch.
I guarantee you couldn't catch this one. Look at this. He's falling away, and he's reaching down. No way. That is a very difficult catch.
No, I think you're being generous. I didn't say it was easy, but it hit him in the hands.
But he's falling away. He couldn't get his hands underneath it to be able to cradle it.
2nd down and 10 for P.J. Matson and the Mules.
Not his fault.
How about that one?
That one, I would say, was in the hands and he should have had it. I'm not trying to curry favor with Lawan by saying that he shouldn't have had it. I mean, it's possible he could have had it, but that was a tough catch.
There's that 2-point conversion.
All right, now we know what the rule is. That was a series of bad luck happening. The interception off the inside screen where they didn't pick up Golis, and then they missed the kick, or they blocked the kick, and they wind up giving up 2 points, not 1. Not only 2, but they were expected to, they had stopped them. It would have been 9. They could have beat them with a field goal. Now they got to score a touchdown. That's a big play.
Incomplete on 3rd and 10. So Matson, who had 2 passes dropped, that time just overthrew Doug Jocelyn. And Colby's going to have to kick it away. They're going to have to kick into the wind, and they're kicking deep from their end, from their zone.
I don't, unless a miracle happens and the wind shifts, I think Trinity is going to get the ball inside their 50.
Well, Kane is standing exactly at midfield.
Which means even if they give up the ball, Colby is going to be back inside their 30 and have to take it the length of the field against this wind.
Lugby wants a low liner. It's a low kick, end over end. Kane, over the shoulder catch, down at the 42. Bantams will take over 1st and 10. It's definitely momentum behind Trinity right now.
I'll tell you, Nardini saved Colby about 15 extra yards as Kane had gotten past that first wave and was going down the right-hand sideline. Nardini got him with one hand after he'd broken free from the initial hit. Big series, 7 minutes to go. Trinity's shown an ability to take time off the clock by moving it on the ground, and Colby needs the ball back.
Raymond Jones.
Now, will the big issue, or at least one of the issues that comes to mind, will Trinity abandon more of a high-risk offense that comes from the quarterback pitch? Are they going to be reluctant to do that? It's been effective here since Mulaney's come in the ball game. or are they going to go right at him and use what has worked for them and try and put this game out of reach? I think that's what they ought to do.
2nd and 10 for the Bantams with 7 minutes to play. Mulaney. Almost intercepted. Caught a break there.
I don't think that's the kind of pass that is really in Mulaney's repertoire. The set and fire back across his body. He just doesn't really have the arm strength to do this. Pretty good job, though, on the pass protection. He's got, of course, that slow motion I was going to count, but he's got plenty of time to get the ball off. Good pass protection in the secondary. And then on the way down, he lets the ball go, but that's pretty darn close to having it picked off.
Big 3rd down play here. The White Mules would like to stop and get the ball back without incurring any further damage on the scoreboard. Showing a blitz. Sideline pass, well overthrown as Raymond Jones was about 10 yards back.
Yeah, he got rid of that one pretty wisely, threw it out of the reach of anybody just as he was about to take the hit, and he wound up on his back. So that was good presence of mind. Mulaney's shown that in almost every series since he's been in the ballgame. There is that Colby defense, which was very difficult to score on a year ago. Many of those guys back this year and pretty much holding true, have held the Trinity offense to just 3 points.
Ken Wilson back now to return this punt.
Let it go, let it go.
High end over end. Wilson at his 5, stumbles, twists down at his 10.
Pretty dangerous. Golis did a nice job of pooching it down there, letting the wind carry it. Not really, just kind of, not really give it the full extension on the leg. And it puts the White Mules in a difficult spot to get started.
Precisely 90 yards. About 6.5 minutes to go.
I bet you I think they're looking for the pass. I think maybe on the 2nd down, go to a draw, see if they can spring Curry inside, maybe spread the field, get the numbers down to about almost a 5-on-5 game, and see what his quickness can do inside off the run.
We haven't seen much of Gerard Deshaw in the last few series.
And he was the key to moving the ball. Here he is.
Makes the catch there. About a 7-yard gain.
As he was going do-si-do with his partner on the outside, the ball was way away from his body, got banged, almost lost it. Look at him. He's a wide out on the right-hand side of your screen. They're looking for him the whole way, number 1 option. And watch after the tackle. Nice job again at delivering the ball. He gets hit. Watch the left arm way away and almost gets swiped away from him, and not the spot to lose the ball to Shaw. Pretty consistently effective player here throughout the ball game. Nice job.
2nd and 3. Dave Long wants to draw. Pitch to Curry. Gets outside. Has the 1st down. Bantams had a shot at him back at the line of scrimmage, but he skipped away from it.
Not the exact play, but the idea in that, they're looking for pass, field is spread, and now see if they can let his quickness get him to the outside and let him see if he can do the work. Good job of blocking. There's a nice block, and Curry stays on his feet. And with lots of room, pretty good pursuit, though, as a lot of white shirts come in to fill up the play. Mark Pizzuto, one of the guys who put him away at the end.
1st down for the Mules at their 27. That's it. Pumps once. Now looks downfield. Deshaw knocked away.
Little bumping around the 50-yard line as well, but I think it was both guys just going down, jockeying for position, but I don't think it was too far away from a flag going. And the recovery, nice recovery. Not sure if it's Ayer who's back there. No, it's not Ayer. He's in the middle of the field. They're playing zone. And as you can see, watch the left hand right there. A little bit of a shield. I don't think anybody got his hands on the ball.
Tony Rocco on defense.
You can tell that was a tough catch. Even Scott's not saying he should catch it.
Over the middle. Complete. Close to a 1st down for Brett Nardini.
Ribrio, big hit. Nardini. It was like kind of like counterboxing. 1, 2, 3 big hits in the middle. But that's where they've been effective in using Nardini as he circles around from the tight end slot, generally on the left side, and just about 10 feet into the field, into the center of the field, and does a nice job, has a good ability to find that open area.
Take a look at the replay as P.J. Matson.
Again, the first option for Matson, he's just looking for Nardini, who found the open area in the field. They're playing zone, and the deep guys were keeping an eye on the wide receivers, didn't come up quick enough, and Nardini gets it right into the area. I think he's going to be just short of the first down.
Yeah, it looks like about 3 or 4 inches short.
Come on, wow!
There's the Mule sideline. 3rd and 1, Coach. What do you do here?
They haven't really used the punishing inside big back. They got to get the first down. I'd go for that play that got him the touchdown.
Yeah, they got it packed in. Matson, pretty close.
Got it.
You got it. The spot.
Never really extended the ball, but I think he got enough forward motion. We'll see. They'll probably bring the chains out again.
Really only needed about 6 inches, not even 6 inches. He's coming to the sideline. They're pretty sure that they got it.
You know these spots, these can be nebulous at times.
Of course, the other thing is they got to go for it. Pretty much, they got to go for it, I think, with 4 minutes to go, 4.5 minutes to go. And here comes the measurement.
The measurement by Lucas Penny and John Linto.
I say got it, or it's a bad spot. Doesn't look like it, though.
Oh. Gave the Colby fans a little heart attack there. First time he stretched the chain out. They weren't set. At the line of scrimmage, they weren't set.
I knew it was off when he missed by 2 yards. I didn't think he got driven back that far.
There was an audible gasp here in the stands.
I'll tell you, there is a shot of the crowd with the guys wearing. This is not a short stay, I'll tell you.
Well, the drive is alive for Colby. And they've got first down now at their 38-yard line.
I think they're going to, looks like they're pretty much going to stick with that spread offense with 3 wide receivers, Curry in the slot.
Matson, pretty good protection. Dumps it off to the tight end, Nardini. 9, maybe 10 yards.
Yeah, the reason that works, and the reason I like that, is it occupies the deep people. They've got to be concerned about Curry. You can't isolate the line. You can't put a linebacker on Curry, especially coming out of the wide area. So you've got to put the linebackers on Nardini, and so far he's shown an ability. He's going to come right across, left to right, run parallel to the line of scrimmage as he breaks free. And he has got some open area to run. Hanker just can't stay with him as they were playing a zone and then just giving him about 5 yards underneath, and he can run with the ball when he gets it.
Second, very short. Go deep here. Nardini has the catch and the first down. He's spun back about 10 yards, but his forward progress is up over midfield.
I'll tell you, once again, though, that's a dangerous pass when you're only trying to pick up 1 yard. That's about a 25-yard pass for a 3-yard gain. It did get him the first down, but a short drop. Nardini this time breaks to the opposite area where he has been breaking all through the game, and then the battle with the ball. Trinity tries to steal it away from him, but he holds on, the big guy.
Come on, now, let's go now!
On the coverage.
One thing that replay showed is that Matson was locked on his primary receiver.
He's done that a lot.
I mean, he was looking at Nardini from the opening snap. He's got a first down here, ball just at midfield. Pretty good coverage. Matson spins up ahead. Boy, a little more agile than I would have given him credit for.
Not only that, he broke a couple of tackles, too. I thought they were going to get him. Malenza, I thought, had him at the line of scrimmage after he had dropped, or he had broken free from the pocket. Look at Golis doing the inside, doing a great job on Golis. There's Lenza who gets a hand on him, but he can't hold on. Look at the spin coming up. Pick up a few more yards.
P.J. Matson played at Westboro High School in Westboro, Massachusetts.
Reminds me of Greg Landry. Remember the old Lion, former UMass quarterback from 100 years ago? When I was a kid.
Got the same jersey colors. Curry needed just a couple of yards on first down, he might have it.
Only missing, he had the high tops. When he was like one of the only guys in the NFL at that time, late 60s, early 70s, wearing high tops. And I liked it because he ran a quarterback sneak like 78 yards on the Packers one time. Anyway, here is the replay. They go back to the running game. Almost every time Curry finds himself in the tailback slot, they have run the football. Wouldn't it be a good idea to maybe fake that play, fake a draw of some kind, play action pass, and try and catch the Shaw on the weak side on that post pattern that was open earlier in the game?
Colby really taking their time on this drive. You see the clock now under 2 minutes. They do have the first down. Matson looking out wide and too much.
That time in the man-to-man coverage. Trinity mixing it up.
Second down.
I think they found they were giving up a little bit too much of the zone. Nardini was taking that underneath stuff. So they changed it up, went with the man-to-man, and pretty good job of coverage there. Nobody was open. Matson decided to go for the short guy and throw it low and outside, so if he catches it, fine. Otherwise, no one can pick it off. That's a good choice for a quarterback, especially an inexperienced quarterback in terms of amount of playing time.
2nd and 10 from the 37. Bantam's really playing him close. Down the sideline for DeShaw. He got it! He went up and made the pick.
Tell you what, we see in the replay, you watch his right arm. He's pushing off as he's going down, warding off the cornerback to give himself a little bit of space, and then he just went up and got it.
Well, he's pumped up about it, too.
Watch, he's going to come out of the bottom part of your screen. He's one-on-one in the corner. I believe it's with a Librio, and he uses his right arm to create space. It's not a Librio, it's Rosari. But he just goes up and makes an acrobatic catch as he turned completely around on the fade pattern.
First down at the 16. Little draw play. Inside the 10. That's Mark Thompson.
First time we've seen him catch the ball. He's been out on some patterns. That's what I mean. They changed it a little bit, have somebody else run the ball, so Trinity is not getting exactly what they expect when Curry goes back into that spot.
2nd down and about 4 from inside the 10.
In fact, they've just made Curry a wide receiver, and they're going to go with Thompson in the I-back spot.
Matson rolling, passing, complete.
What a tackle.
No, incomplete. They're waving it off. Nardini apparently dropped the ball on that far side of the field as he went down.
A Librio, big hit on the point of the catch. As you've seen, Nardini got the good hands, but the timing was perfect. And he was dealing with trying to put it away just as he was getting hit, and his legs were just taken out from under him.
Take a look.
This time, instead of going underneath, he breaks to the outside. And to me, it looks like on the replay that he had it, took a step, and then dropped it. Of course, his back was to it, so he can't really see it, but...
Timeout for the Mules.
Looks to me like he had a full step turn up field before he loses the ball.
Matson along the sidelines with Lawan Curry. We'll be back for the exciting finish to this one right after this.
Fun, easy, inexpensive, and ingenious.
That's what coaches and experts say about Solo Tennis. Improves all tennis skills. Form, timing, speed, cadence, strength, and endurance.
How does it work?
Just hit the ball and Solo Tennis will return it to you every time.
Who can play?
Anyone of any age. Simple enough for a novice, yet challenging enough for an expert.
Where can you play?
Anywhere. No backboard or tennis court is needed. Solo Tennis is a fun, exciting game you can play anytime. Tennis USTA magazine says,
take full natural strokes and the ball comes back to you every time.
Inside Tennis magazine calls it
simple yet innovative.
Solo Tennis, called the best invention in 20 years by World Tennis magazine, is now available for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. For fast delivery, just call the toll-free number on your screen. Solo Tennis comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Order yours today.
Here's situation. Colby is down by 4, 11-7. 55 seconds to play. They've got a 3rd and 4 from the 9-yard line.
I'd go to Jarrett DeShaw.
Well, you throw it within 10 yards of that guy, and he goes up and picks it.
I mean, you got to go to the guy who's got you there, and he has pretty much done it. Even if they expect it. He's one-on-one on the right-hand side.
He's now split out wide, top of your screen. In motion. Matson looking, passing, dropped.
Oh, man.
Right through the hands of Mark Thompson.
I mean, that was perfect, and he had room to turn it up. I don't know if it got onto him a little bit quicker than he thought.
Well, one more chance.
It looked like he didn't react to the ball.
One more chance for Colby.
Telling you, got to go with the guy who brought you here.
Well, it's either DeShaw or Nardini. DeShaw has made some tremendous catches, but Nardini has also made some catches to keep drives alive as well, and they both have pretty good hands.
But he's got one-on-one coverage. He's got a size advantage when he goes out to the right. The other thing I might think about doing, if I had a lot of guts, is go for the draw, because everybody expects the run.
Here we go. This is the ball game. 4th down and 4. Colby down by 4 points. They need a touchdown. Matson pumping, firing, touchdown!
Wow.
Nardini makes the catch in the end zone.
Wow. And that is the play that has gotten at least 3 first downs. Starts from the left, cuts underneath the coverage, and that was between 3 people. That was a great pass, and in terms of getting it in there in the only spot, Nardini turned against his momentum to hold on.
And you know what I thought, Dave? Curry was wide open, just sitting in the flat. And I'm saying to myself, PJ, dump it off to Lawan. And he goes to the end zone.
That's right.
Connects with Nardini.
I was saying, give it to DeShaw, who I thought was open on the left-hand side of the field. This is a very important extra point.
Well, it certainly is, because it's 13-11 now for Colby, and DeShaw, Mr. Hands, now has to put his feet into action and knock this through. He's got it.
One makes you wonder if Trinity's going to come back with Clapp, the passing quarterback, since they've only got 43 seconds to go. They do have to kick it into the wind.
Look at Curry. Look at Curry. Wide open there. And Matson says, no way, going for 7.
2 people there, and again, he went right across his body. Watch this. Comes out of the left-hand side of your screen, but watch when he sets his feet to catch the ball, he's got to come back to his left.
Wow.
And right in between 2 people.
That was threading the needle.
And also, they were looking to go left to start off with, and he pulled it down and had the presence of mind to go to the second option, which was Nardini, as the whole play was started left. He was in the middle, and the last option was DeShaw, who was in the right-hand side, who actually was covered.
80-plus yards on the drive into the wind. You got to tip your cap to P.J. Matson and also DeShaw, who made that big catch along the sideline and back kick. And the ball is downed immediately by Mike Ranieri, the fullback, who is one of the up men.
See who the quarterback is.
Yeah, they're coming out with Mulaney. They've got 41 seconds.
Well, I tell you what.
And they're at their 31-yard line.
I'll tell you what works to their advantage. There's a guy's happy on the sideline, but it works to their advantage. They're probably not going to be real tight. They're probably going to give a pretty good cushion on the outside. So, go for the 10-yard stuff. I think Trinity only has 2 timeouts left. They took one in the 3rd period.
Mulaney scrambling out of the pocket. Up to the 40, close to the first down.
Clock will continue, though. Didn't get the first down.
Brought down by number 8, Thomas Speed. Flag on the play.
We've got a flag.
I'll tell you what, that cost them 9 seconds. If that penalty relates to the previous play, they should put 9 seconds back on the clock. probably delay a game if they're moving it forward at that point.
How can it be delay a game? On defense?
Because they could play with the ball, not to allow the offense to set up, so more time ticks off the clock. They could take their time walking back to get over on the other side.
Well, it will
Many
be
a clever player has tried that one. I'll tell you, including this guy right here. Just got to pick your spots, though. Wow.
Some type of personal foul. I missed the signal. The ball is now up.
It's a 20. That's a 20-yard penalty.
Now 15 from. It was from the 40.
Yeah. That's a bad time.
Well,
for that penalty.
22 seconds left, and the ball now at the 45. Mullaney with some time, looking across the middle. Intercepted by Parker. John Parker stepped in and made the pick.
It's like a guy who gets off the mats in a boxing match. He got dinged earlier, stayed on the ground for a little while, and then had to come back. But, you know, once again, arm strength is not the particular strength. They're going back to Kane, or the strength from Mullaney, and Parker just did a nice job expecting the ball to go to Kane. He's the #1 receiver, and he stepped in, had the ability to get there, as the pass was more of a timing pass, and he read it.
Well, now all the White Mules have to do is kneel on it a couple of times, and this one's over.
That's a good way to get a bad penalty. That's a good way to get yourself out of that jam. And they're not going to take the timeout. It doesn't look.
They may not have any left. Colby Mules have won on a last-second touchdown strike. The Mules with a 3-point victory, 14-11.
There is the part of the sellout crowd here at Colby College. And what good job, son. Both teams involved in what I think is the one of the great things in college sports, actually in sports of any kind, the handshake at the end, stolen from the NHL. Acquired, better way to say.
So a 3-point victory for the Colby Mules as their last second touchdown drive is successful. The pass from Matson to Nardini, and they escape here at home with a victory over the Trinity Bantams. A good game on both sides of the ball. We'll be back with a Chevy drive of the game and some post-game interviews after this.
Fuller Motorhome Rentals of Boylston, Massachusetts features year-round rentals of quality motorhome units that can accommodate 4 to 8 people or transport up to 12. A motorhome from Fuller is perfect for your next hunting, fishing, or golf excursion, or even a chauffeur-driven ride to a family function. So, whether you're planning a 4-day race weekend or an 8-week cross-country trip, reserve a dependable unit from Fuller Motorhome. Take exit 23B off I-290 in Boylston, Massachusetts.
Okay, we're down here on the field after the ball game with 3 of the stars of the game. We'll go with Coach Tom Austin first. Tom, 5 minutes to go, or 4:50, 89 yards to go. What'd you tell the kids on that last drive, or prior to the last drive?
Well, it's not so much what we told them at that point. It was just the mentality that we try to help our kids come to grips with, and the game's not over until it's over, as Jogi said, and we just keep coming, and somebody will step forward and make a significant play.
Seemed to change the offense a little bit as you progressed in the game. You went to the passing game more. You spread it out. You went to Curry a lot early and then spread it out around the field.
Well, they really they had changed their front a little bit, which made running Curry a little more difficult. And they had some younger people in the secondary that we wanted to test, and PJ did that very well. And we were glad we decided that.
And we've got PJ here. PJ, you came on the field, as I said, 89 yards to go. You had just thrown the interception in the previous series that Golis took in for the touchdown. Any trepidation to go back to pass?
Not at all. Not at all. I really got to thank the rest of the team for sticking in there with me.
because I was ready to go. I let that go and was waiting for the next play, and I hope that was in everybody else's mind because I really needed them, and it really was. I felt that out there.
How about the pass to Deshaw? You went down. It was kind of you just threw it up there for him to grab. You looked off the looked like you looked off the defense, and you went. It was one-on-one coverage. What were you trying to do there?
Deshaw's got some great athletic ability, and I just let it up in the air, and I don't doubt that he'll come down with the ball.
Okay, and then you guys got down to down inside the red zone. You went to Brett several times, and it was a very similar pattern that we'd seen. They looked like they were in a zone. They were dropping back, and you just went underneath.
Well, actually, what happened is it's supposed to be a crossing pattern, and I knew that they were gonna jump me if I crossed. So it was kind of a lucky guess, because what I did is I stopped the cross and I cut back the other way where the flow, away from the flow, and I was kind of hoping that PJ would read it. And sure enough, he kept his eyes open, read the defense, and put it right on the money.
He had several catches coming down the stretch in the second half, but also in that drive. Seemed to me, anyway, that it was a very similar crossing pattern. Were they just giving you that area, dropping back?
Well, I mean, what it is that we have great fakes, which draws the linebackers up, and then, I mean, it's really easy to just seep in right behind them and just sit down and kind of get in an open pot, So, I mean, once I get in the open spot, I just look for PJ, and he does the rest. And
we'll give PJ the final word here. You didn't look like you were looking for Brett as the primary receiver. Looks like you were looking to the left. What went through your mind?
Yeah, I was looking to the left. I looked at the first tight end first in the corner of the end zone, and I looked him off, and I definitely got to thank the line for giving me some great time on that. And then I also thank Brett, because he has a great knack finding an open spot and start waving his arm so he gets in my vision. And he was all there. He did all the hard stuff.
Okay, you can tell that he's not just a talented guy, he's a smart guy. Give credit to the guys who protect the line. Okay, fellas, thanks a lot. Great job. All right, Scott's going to step in here, and we're going to take a look at the Chevy driver of the game. Pretty tough one to figure out this time.
Yeah, for once we had a unanimous vote in the booth for the Chevy driver of the game, but certainly no question on this one. You get the classic fourth-quarter drive. It was almost John Elway-like. 89 yards to go, ended up 16 plays. And, I mean, what could you ask for more? Fourth down and 4. If they hadn't made it there, the game was over. And PJ had some options and ended up going to Nardini in the end zone. It was just a perfect pass, perfect catch, and a perfect ending for the Mules.
And it is the second ending of this ilk in the 3 games that we've done here on the ECAC Game of the Week. And even, as you said, Elway, I think the Elway nature of it, because it wasn't something that was wide open to start off with. He was looking to go in a different direction, then came back to the big guy.
Yeah, and you and I were both speculating openly that he would go to Deshaw. Deshaw was the guy with the great hands who's made some great catches all throughout the game, a great catch to keep the drive going. But Nardini was a going concern all game as well. So I think it's you go to either one of those guys, and they're both money guys in that situation.
Okay, that'll do it for us here in Waterville, Maine. Colby gets out of here with a win over Trinity, 14-11 for Scott Trenchmontaine. I'm Dave Long. We'll see you next week, everybody.
What happened?